Spurs and Wemby made a statement last night. Victor Wembanyama's 27 points, 17 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 blocks propelled the Spurs to a 126-97 win over the Timberwolves in Game 5 and a 3-2 series lead. I look to close this thing out on Friday night in Minnesota. Game 6, tip-off set for 8:30. It will be televised on Amazon Prime. Cavs Pistons tonight in a crucial Game 5 set for 7 o'clock.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Oh, my goodness, that was an ass whooping last night inside the Frostbank Center, was it not? San Antonio Spurs getting it done in Game 5 to take a 3-2 series lead over the Minnesota Timberwolves. Hope everybody enjoyed that last night. What the hell's the matter with you, Pledge?
Guess what day it is?
Oh, it's Hump Day!
Hump Day?
Hump Day!
Hump Day?
I was so ready to say it was an ass whooping last night inside the Frostbank Center. I forgot all about what day it is.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
It's just a great day to be a Spurs fan. That's what it is. Oh, my goodness. What a game last night. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix not here today. He's got some unexpected family business that he's got to tend to for the next couple of days. So we'll try to make things stay afloat, Pledge and I, as until he returns.
Oh, we're flying high today, baby.
I'll tell you what, it's what a game last night. And I already see some comments on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, which you can get to if you go to sasportsstar.com. We've got a poll up already. We didn't waste any time today. It's simply this. Dylan Harper, does he remind you of Manu Ginobili? And I asked that for a reason. I just didn't pull that out of my butt. All right, I last night, after the Dylan Harper dunk, where he did all kinds of athletic stuff and just made the Timberwolves look silly, Manu tweeted about that dunk and how sensational it was. And the comments were just like, it reminds me of you. It looks just like you. Those are the dunks you used to make. And so I thought I'd put the question out to you. And I know, look, I'm not comparing Dylan Harper to Manu Ginobili. Manu Ginobili is great. He is one of the greatest to ever play the game. So I'm not doing that. But anytime there's a young player out there, we always compare them to somebody. So I'll ask you, and you can vote however you see fit on our poll. Does Dylan Harper remind you of Manu Ginobili the way that he plays? Look, everybody, of course, and rightfully so, talking about Victor Wembanyama and the start that he got off to. 18 points in the first quarter. He came out, dominated. Give the Timberwolves a little bit of credit. They did come out in the third quarter. They tied that ball game up, and then it was almost like the Spurs said, hold my beer. And they just took off from there. You
worried a little, didn't you?
Well, I did. When they tied it up at 61, they actually had a chance, if you'll recall, last night to take the lead, missed the shot, and then everything just turned on a dime right there. And San Antonio went on some ridiculous run. And so it was, it was fantastic, and that was pretty much it. So, so much to talk about today, and obviously with just me and Pledge here, we're going to say what we have to say, but we want to hear from you as well. First of all, we got a couple of days now before the Spurs can wrap this thing up in Minnesota in Game 6, and I'm certainly hoping that they get that done because Oklahoma City is just sitting back, waiting and resting and getting healthy and doing all of those kinds of things. So I'd like for the Spurs to take care of business as soon as humanly possible, and their first opportunity will be Friday night in Minnesota. So we're going to talk about that. Now, Victor Wembanyama coming back last night, and if you were at the game, you didn't hear this at all. I was not at the game, but NBC last night, when they're talking about Wemby, we're really talking about him as he's coming back. He's back. Victor's back. And I didn't really think much of it until I started hearing some of the national folks talk about it. One of those guys, well, a couple of guys on the Dan Le Batard show.
Did you guys find it interesting at all last night? This is unusual, that Wemby was being celebrated as a story of redemption.
So weird.
And the amazing return on the story arc of a guy who did something profoundly dirty during an NBA playoff game and probably wouldn't have been playing last night if he had done that and been just about anybody else in the world. We're already starting a story that we're going to get really tired of 5 years from now if you allow the 7'3" guy to derail OKC and swing his elbows and be the positive story because he's French and a little different. Like, that was super weird last night to see him celebrated as a conquering hero because he's got 16 points in the first 6 minutes because he's bigger than everyone else and he's growing both physically and as a player, and this is going to destroy the league soon. You could have knocked him out for a game and at least treated the return as if it was controversial, not, wow, this is heroic. The guy who's taller than everyone else is going to be better than everyone else.
If you didn't know the full context of what took place and you just turned on the game in the first quarter last night, you would have thought this was a conquering hero returning to the floor. I thought the way the broadcast treated it last night was so strange. It was that as if he was the one who was done wrong, and now he's back, and this is such an incredible story, this performance he's putting together, when the fact of the matter is he did something unbelievably dirty and probably cost his team Game 4.
But this is the Wemby propaganda that I've been railing against. Everything that he does is perfect. Everything he does is better than everybody else.
He was really good in that first quarter.
He was great.
Okay,
he was great in the first quarter. He had 16 to 18 points. That's not the point. The point is they were cheering him like if he had just come back for, like Ricky Pearsall got shot and came back.
It's true. It's true.
A heroic return by Wemby. I'm surprised part of the narrative wasn't, thank God he didn't hurt his elbow on that guy's jaw. You know, it was over the top, but expected.
Oh, my goodness. The jealousy reigning supreme among the national media.
It was weird.
Yeah, it was weird. But again, when I'm watching and I'm watching Chirico and those guys do the intro, it was like I didn't think much of it. I mean, I didn't think, well, they're celebrating the fact that he's back and Wemby did no wrong and he's coming back. I didn't put two and two together at that point.
It felt like it. It felt like he was like returning from injury, or the fact that he, like when he came back from the concussion, like it felt like they were justifying what he did, if you will.
Yeah. Look, NBC was thrilled that he didn't get suspended for that game last night, okay? Let's not play. You'd be naive to think otherwise. They wanted Wemby on the floor last night because it's good for ratings. Wemby is good for ratings no matter what network he's on. So they wanted him on the floor. But again, I didn't think that much of it. And I'm thinking, well, this guy's great. He's coming out in the first quarter. He's doing all this stuff. I had forgotten about the elbow, to be honest with you, watching the game last night. And then I hear all of this nonsense. Nick Wright was another one. I don't know what Fox show he's on, but anyway, he was another one that was complaining about the treatment of Wemby by NBC. I have a feeling anytime you have a guy that is this good, that is that much better than everybody else, that is going to play and dominate, you're going to have haters. You're going to. And look, here in San Antonio, we know all about that because the Spurs dynasty of old, Tim Duncan, Monty Ginobili, Tony Parker, David Robinson, never got the credit or recognition they deserve from the national media. And now everybody's in love with Victor Wembanyama, certainly here in San Antonio and across the country for that matter. But it's going to get under people's skin. And it's going to affect some people, and they're going to be jealous, and they're going to talk about stuff and try and put this young man down. So just get used to it. And quite frankly, I really don't give a damn.
I mean, this is a tale as old as time, though.
Well, of course.
You're beloved until you're hated.
Well, sure.
Like the Patriots, they were America's team. Tom Brady is the greatest of all time. And then
LeBron James.
It becomes so much of a media focus and talking point that turns the other way. And it's going to happen the way they're talking about Wemby and this Spurs team a lot faster than you expect. Because remember, last year and the year before, Oklahoma City was that upcoming, upstart, young.
SGA is another one.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden he's a foul merchant. And it's a dynasty who's going to knock them off. I'm just preparing you right now. The hate is loading on the San Antonio Spurs.
Well, it's loading, and I don't know if it's the Spurs in general, but it's Victor Wembanyama. Because I don't know how many times, and you heard Le Batard say it, if you listen to that clip just a few minutes ago, it's like, well, he's taller than everybody else, and he's this, and I've heard other people say that as well. And so, look, just get used to it because it's going to happen. Wemby just makes the game easier for everybody else. I mean, he really does. And we're talking about Dylan Harper, Steph Castle, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, who, hey, welcome to the playoffs, by the way, or at least this series, because he played well last night. But Wemby makes their job a little bit easier. I mean, he really does, because you're so focused on Wemby and what he's doing that the guards have the freedom to run free. And that's just the way that it goes, and that's the reality of it. But it doesn't matter. Dylan Harper was sensational last night again. This young man has introduced himself to the rest of the country. And as long as the Spurs are alive in the playoffs, he will continue to do that. Now, in Oklahoma City, I'm not looking ahead. Maybe
you are.
Maybe a little. Maybe I'm looking ahead.
Well, remember, there's an 82% chance people that win Game 5 go on to win the series.
I'm just saying, Pledge, maybe I'm looking ahead just a little bit. We do still have a Game 6, and
stop skipping steps, Joe.
That could turn into a Game 7. I realize all of that. But against an Oklahoma City team, the job will be tougher for Dylan Harper. It will be tougher for a Steph Castle. It will be, because they've got guys that can match up with them. But we got a lot of time to talk about that coming up. Whenever that happens, it's just a lot of fun. And last night, again, I don't know what the Spurs did in the third quarter, what they weren't doing. Minnesota makes that run. They tie the game up. They had the opportunity to take the lead, couldn't get that done, and then the Spurs just said, "Adios, we're out of here." It was a lot of fun to watch, and a lot of fun to see. And we're going to talk about it quite a bit today, so I hope you guys are ready for that. Again, we do have a poll up, and it's just my curiosity, if nothing else. And I do this because Manu Ginobili tweeted about the dunk from Dylan Harper last night. Does Dylan Harper in some way, shape, or form remind you of Manu Ginobili? Not putting Dylan Harper on the same level as Manu Ginobili, so before you get upset with me, don't worry, I'm not doing that. Manu is Manu, and he's way head and shoulders better than Dylan Harper at this moment in time. We'll see where Dylan Harper's career takes him. But Manu's one of the greatest of all time, and quite frankly, no offense to Tim Duncan or Tony Parker or anybody else, probably my favorite all-time Spur. Or no offense to Dave Robinson either, or Sean Elliott or anybody else.
I think if we did a poll, Manu would win. Who's your favorite Spur of all time? Not best, favorite.
Well, that might be a poll for tomorrow, Pledge. Sincerely, that might be a pledge for a poll for tomorrow. Today, though, I want to know, does Dylan Harper remind you in any way, shape, or form of the great Manu Ginobili? That is our poll on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. Lots of ways to comment on what you saw last night, your takeaway from the game. You can do that by going to our YouTube page. sasportstar.com is how you get there, or it's certainly the best way to get there. You can reach me on Twitter at Joe Reinigle210. Or you can do it the old-fashioned way. You want to give us a phone call, 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. That's how you get a hold of us. More Spurs basketball. We'll hear from Wemby. We'll hear from Steph Castle. We'll hear from Mitch Johnson and Anthony Edwards. We'll hear from him as well when we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I want to tell you about the Golf Club of Texas. Look, man, outside, I tell you what, how difficult it was to come in this building today and sit in the studio with no windows, because it is absolutely gorgeous outside. But that's the kind of weather we're used to here in San Antonio. And I like to call that perfect golf weather. If you think the same way I do, well, the Golf Club of Texas is the place for you. Look, it is a beautiful place. It's a great place to go out and play golf. Not only play golf, but to have some food there at the 10 Cup Bar and Grill, some drinks there at the 10 Cup Bar and Grill. They've got all kinds of beer, all kinds of stuff for you out there, and none of it's going to break the bank, which is the best part of all of it. It really is. So if you're thinking about going out this weekend playing some golf, go to golfclubtexas.com. That's where the best rates are always available. If you'll go there, you can book your tee time. If you can't play this weekend, what's wrong with a Monday? How about a Tuesday, Wednesday? Doesn't matter because the Golf Club of Texas is open 7 days a week, and they are going to take care of you. And let me tell you something. Right now, with all the rain we've had, that golf course is in fabulous shape. Outstanding shape. Get on out to the Golf Club of Texas. You know exactly where it is. Right there off Briggs Ranch Road, off Highway 90. Whether it's for dinner at the 10 Cup or around with your buddies, your next tournament, go check them out. The best rates always online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Upgrade your truck without breaking the bank at NAW, Northwest Automotive Warehouse. Buy the Rough Country 3-panel hard-folding truck bed cover starting at $6.99. Get weather protection, added security, and durability for all of life's gear. A sleek upgrade custom look for just $6.99 is a quick install away. With NAW and Rough Country truck bed covers, skip the big box hassle. Shop local and get expert advice from NAW today. 3027 Culebra Road. Family operated, community driven since 1978.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
As a social influencer, my days can be busy. 4 a.m., I hit the gym. 4:32, protein smoothie. 5:08, save time and money bundling my home and auto insurance with Progressive. Wait, if I bundle and save time, what would I do then? Just sit here and reflect? Like, why am I qualified to influence anyone? And how those weights are hollow? And half of my followers are bots.
You could save time and money bundling your home and auto when you switch to Progressive. It's one less thing to worry about during your already busy day. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Coming up on the Morning Huddle, we got an off day for the Spurs, so let's spend it talking some football.
We get new schedule coming all the time, and the NBA Combine is happening. Is there somebody worthy of the Spurs? Lots to talk about. Oh, we'll get you ready for big games as well. Get here early. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio.
I think everybody in San Antonio woke up in a pretty good mood today after, the Spurs just took a paddle to the hiney of the Minnesota Timberwolves last night, spanked them out of the Frostbank Center. What a great game it was for San Antonio Spurs fans. Not so much for Minnesota fans or some of the national media who we've played. Is Wemby becoming a villain across the country? We'll play some more of that Le Batard stuff, and I'll read you some of the stuff that Nick Wright had to say. And there were some others, including it wasn't Michelle Beadle, but some of the folks on her show saying the same thing. So it's going to be interesting, and the jealousy is already starting when it comes to the Spurs and Victor Wembanyama. I'm Joe Reinagle. Jason Minnick's not here today. Probably won't be here for the rest of the week. He had some unexpected family business he's got to tend to. So we wish him the best there, and he'll be back as soon as he possibly can. But I'm happy you are here. Appreciate you joining us here on the Blitz. Pledge is here as well. So if you want to talk about what happened last night, if there's something that you have in mind that you saw that perhaps the rest of us didn't see, or what you think is going to happen Friday night, the Spurs close this thing out on Friday in Minnesota. Well, let us know. Again, you can go to our YouTube page. A lot of comments there talking about Dylan Harper, because that is our poll today. I asked this because Monty Ginobili himself tweeted out what a sensational play that was. The Dylan Harper dunk, and I really don't have to explain when it was. If you watch the game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And everybody, or a lot of the comments thereafter were talking about how it looked a lot like Manu Ginobili. They even had a tweet, Pledge, that I saw that put a Manu dunk and that Dylan Harper dunk up and down, not side by side, but you know what I mean?
The Bosch one?
Yes. And so it was, and the moves were, well, damn near identical. I mean, they really were damn near identical. So, and that's why I asked the question. So, again, I'm not comparing Dylan Harper to Manu Ginobili in the sense of him being as good, because that's impossible to do. However, does he remind you of him? Yes or no? Vote however you want to. There is no right or wrong answer. It's just whatever you think. I voted yes because it did look a lot like Manu Ginobili and some of the moves that he had to make. If you want to call, if you want to talk about this thing, please feel free. 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN, just the way Steven did. Steven, welcome to the Blitz.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Love the show. It's the only channel I listen to every single morning and day.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
So you guys talk about how Harper resembles Manu a lot, and I love it. I mean, as a kid, you watch these sports and you try to resemble these guys every single day, day in, day out. You got a 22-year-old literally with the aspects of Manu Ginobili to your hands. I mean, the guy is there to your disposal. Why not resemble his moves, everything that he's done in life, but with the little twist of Harper? You know, he's got that young mind. He's got everything to his disposal as far as his dad, Manu, Tim, shoot, even the best Hall of Fame coach ever of all time, Pop. I mean, the kid's learning and getting every guidance we can possibly give him, and he's putting his own twist on it. So I would agree. He's got all kinds of Manu in him, and I love it. And he's been a dream to the Spurs, and he's just going to get even better in a few years to come.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. Steven, thanks for the phone call. We appreciate it. That does open up a phone line if you want to chime in and state your opinion or whatever you have to say about last night's game or whatever the case may be. I'm looking at our YouTube page, and Oscar there says, rumor has it that Rudy Gobert is still looking for the ball after that Wemby fake out, and that was pretty embarrassing if you're Rudy Gobert. I mean, that dude was all turned and twisted and everything. And can I just say this? Now, yesterday I called Gobert soft. I've been calling Rudy Gobert soft since, since he got into the league, because he is. He's just soft as Charmin. And then he has a pretty good performance against the Joker in that first series against the Denver Nuggets. He has played like a dog, and I mean that in the worst way, a dog in this series. Wemby has been just schooling that guy, but it's not even that. It's not even that. Even when Wemby's not on the floor, last night, Rudy Gobert might have just been the worst I have ever seen him. Anybody else pick up on that? He could not catch a pass. He could not make a shot. He couldn't defend anybody. He was flat out awful, and it's going to be interesting to see. Now, I don't know if Minnesota can do anything or if that would even be a part of their plan to get Rudy Gobert out of the starting lineup and maybe go small. I don't know what Minnesota's going to do Friday night, but Rudy Gobert last night, and there were a lot of guys. Reggie Miller said it a couple of times that Gobert was hurting the Minnesota Timberwolves, that he was hurting them. He was absolutely hurting them. He was absolutely awful. And I don't know. I mean, and again, I don't think it makes any difference. Even if he wouldn't have been that awful, Spurs still win that game. But the guy was just terrible.
I mean, that's kind of the book on Rudy Gobert, though. Every year, even when he wins Defensive Player of the Year, he gets exposed, especially in high pick-and-roll games away from the basket, to where he's unplayable on the court at times, especially with his free throw shooting. And you saw it when he was with Utah. You saw it in series with the Timberwolves, where they've had to bench him in series because of his ineffectiveness and the way that people exploit him in the postseason. Like, fine, regular season defender helps a lot, but once the playoffs start, it's hard to have him on the floor.
He was awful last night. I don't know if that's going to make a difference to Minnesota coming up on Friday night or not, or if they do something different, I have no idea. But he was awful, and I agree with Reggie Miller in this case. He hurt them last night, certainly a lot more than he helped them. But Wemby was back, whether you think he's a conquering hero or not, and I know a lot of people from San Antonio were very happy that he was back. He had a really hot start, 18 points in that first quarter. 18 of his 27 were in that first quarter, and Wemby talked about that last night, his hot start. Wemby 3.
I think it's super important for us, the way we start a game, because it sets the tone. Now the challenge is to do it for 48 minutes.
Well, that's the challenge, to do it for 48 minutes. I thought he did last night, because even when Wemby's not scoring, he's affecting the play. I mean, he is affecting the play. And he admitted last night after the game that, he was just itching to get back out on the court.
Very, very much. I mean, I was fresh, feeling good, but honestly, it's hard to tell if it was just game 5. Obviously, I'm going to be excited. I'm going to have butterflies, so excitement is not something abnormal at this point in the playoffs.
Interesting. He was ready to get back on the floor. He was fresh, as he mentioned, and he looked it in the first quarter. He was just fantastic. The problem for Minnesota, Anthony Edwards, I'm going to let him explain what the problem for Minnesota is, because he said after the game last night, we got no answer for Wemby.
I mean, tonight, some of the stuff that Wemby was doing, you don't really have too much of an answer for it. Just kind of hope he misses. But he came out high. He made a bunch of shots. I feel like we adjusted, fought back in the game. Tried to dig ourselves out of the hole, but I mean, eventually they created another league and running out in transition. We got to get back, get matched up. Just game plan mistakes that we keep making, and it's too late in the series to make these mistakes.
Well, I agree with that, and there were a bunch of mistakes, and even Ant last night, the double team bothered him, but nobody else is helping him. And I'm ragging on Rudy Gobert. Julius Randle's not any better. He's had a horrible series, and that has hurt Minnesota in a lot of ways. He's had a really bad series, and they rely on that guy quite a bit. Now, Ayo Dosunmu, I thought he played well last night. May have been his best game in the playoffs last night. And he was trying, I don't know if you noticed this or not, but he was trying to get under Wemby's skin. He went over and he banged him in the back, and then they started jawing at each other, and Wemby explained exactly what was going on there.
Yeah, I feel like the rage baiting would have been maybe one of the strategies, so I feel like we need to stay composed as a team.
Well, and Wemby did. And look, and we knew that was going to happen. I think there was even one time where Naz Reid pushed him. Reid actually got a technical foul in that situation. And so, they were trying again to see what they could do, maybe to get to piss Wemby off and to make him do something that, like he did in Game 4. He didn't do that. He kept his composure, and he was much better in that respect. And maybe, just maybe, and we talked about it yesterday, his conversation with Greg Popovich at the airport when the team returned home from Minnesota.
I'm not going to leak anything he said, obviously, but he maybe wanted to, make a statement or make his talking even more impactful by being there. But he gives feedback and talks to us regularly, throughout series, throughout games. So, as always, when he speaks, everybody listens.
Whatever he said, and I don't know if we'll ever know exactly what that conversation was all about, whatever he said, it worked. Because when you look at Wemby last night, no matter what was happening, and things were going pretty well, so maybe there was no reason for him to be upset or anything else, but he looked calm last night. He looked like there was nothing going to bother him no matter what Minnesota did, how much they pushed him around, how much they tried, as he called it, rage bait him. He was not going to fall for it. No more banana in the tailpipe for Victor Wembanyama, and he didn't, and he played well. And it was brought up on our YouTube page. He only had 8 points in the second half, and that is true. But it's everything else that he does, and the attention that he draws, and all of that helps a guy like Dylan Harper. It helps Keldon Johnson, who, by the way, again, I said it earlier, welcome to this playoff series, because this is by far the best game that Keldon Johnson has had in this particular series. Stephon Kessel actually was talking about Keldon's game after last night's win.
I think it was big for him. Having a game like that on, not that much time and very efficient. We need him. He's been that for us all year, and he's also one of the reasons why, we're number 2 in the West. So, we need that version of KJ every night, and it's just good. It's good to see him have a game like this, especially. I wouldn't say this late in the playoffs, but to be able to have it now, where we need him most, is good to see.
Absolutely, and it was good to see him. And what I like about Keldon Johnson, I don't know if you saw. I'm sure you did if you're watching the game, but it was like the emotion that he was showing. And I think it's like he almost had a rock off of his back. Yeah, he almost had a rock off of his back when because he was scoring. He was actually making buckets, and he was doing things that, he did all season long, and unfortunately in this series has yet to do. We had a lot more Spurs stuff to get to throughout the afternoon. We are going to change gears for just a moment, though, because, every Wednesday we talk to this guy. Our good buddy RJ Ochoa is going to join us next here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast. The best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online. MyBestBailBonds.com is the website. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail. A lot of reasons for that. And you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7. They have offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down along the coast, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online, mybestbailbonds.com.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Ownwell. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ownwell.com/terms. Individual results may vary.
Right now, I have 24 different units. I think that's 15 separate properties. I trust Ownwell with all my properties. I trust them to fight for me with the appraisal district as best they can, and they've done a very good job. Ownwell is making my life more efficient, making me a better landlord. Using Ownwell, I've saved on average about $10,000 a year. That's a lot of money.
Your property taxes aren't set in stone. They can be reduced. Ownwell combines savvy technology and deep local expertise to save real estate owners real money. Want to see how much Ownwell can save you on your property taxes? Just enter an address and see your tax savings estimate. See how much you can save with Ownwell right now. But hurry, deadlines to file end this week. Text SAVE to 64,000. Text SAVE to 64,000. That's SAVE to 64,000.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile, with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by tax relief advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-9087. 800-575-9087. That's 800-575-9087 or simply visit TRA.com.
Eczema, eczema, eczema. So many ads for eczema products. But those fancy TV ads don't mention that those prescription products can cost thousands of dollars. There's a smarter way. It's Exerting for eczema and dermatitis. Exerting costs less than $20. Yep, less than $20. You don't need a prescription, and it's available on the first aid aisle of your local store. Exerting contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean, hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives or nasty chemicals. Exerting, fast, effective relief from the itching and inflammation of eczema. This stuff really does work. Take back control. Heal eczema flares with soothing Exerting Flare Control Cream. It's on the first aid aisle of your local drugstore, supermarket, and at Target and Walmart too. Exerting for eczema. Now that's smart.
Got a buddy who thinks he knows baseball? Perfect. On Rangers game days, prove it with the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. Pick the Ranger you think will launch it out of here. He hits one, you and a friend are headed to a Rangers game. He hits two. Now, you've got tickets and hotel. Yeah, you're making a night of it, and your buddy's buying the first round. Wake up with the Morning Huddle. Call your shot and win the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers.
Back here on a victorious Wednesday, a victorious hump day here in San Antonio. The San Antonio Spurs just rout the Minnesota Timberwolves last night to take Game 5 in a 3-2 series lead. Game 6 now on Friday night. We're going to get back to that coming up in just a moment. But we got to talk to this guy because, well, joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line is our good buddy RJ Ochoa from Blogging the Boys. And RJ, I'm sure you watched the game last night, didn't you?
Of course I did. It was fantastic. Wemby was locked in and loaded. I do have a gripe, though. I don't like the black jerseys at home. I'm a traditionalist. You gotta wear white. You can't. I don't like the black. I don't like the Fiesta colors. I don't like even the old school silver with the block spur and the LaMarcus Aldridge days. Wear white at home, but I suppose if you're winning, you can do whatever you want.
Well, that's true, and they are, and I guess they felt better about that. I don't know how, I don't know what goes into that, if they feel luckier with the black jerseys versus the other ones or not. I'm not sure, but you just got to get off my lawn treatment that I get every day, many times a day, RJ. So you're welcome.
That's that's what I want to do in life, Joe, is tell you or get you to tell me to get off your lawn. That's what I strive for every day.
Well, that was actually Pledge telling you to get off the lawn, or that you were saying that. Anyway, it doesn't make any difference. I'm looking around, getting ready for the show today, RJ, and I look at ProFootballTalk.com, and one of their big headlines is George Pickens is not at the voluntary workouts. Is that something we're going to have to deal with just because people want to stir up a little drama when it comes to the Cowboys and George Pickens?
Yeah, sometimes I think that the idea that people want to stir up drama with the Cowboys is a bit far-fetched because the Cowboys, they're the ones who stir it, you know what I mean? So if you're just walking in and the situation is on autopilot, you're not the one doing the stirring necessarily. This does feel like stirring the pot. Just because they are voluntary, it's not the biggest deal. It's not like he has no familiarity with everyone. It's not like they have a new offensive play caller, right? Like sometimes that's the case where, like that was the situation with Micah Parsons last year, right? Oh, well, this is Matt Eberflus. You don't know him. You want to get in. You want to learn the system, all that type of stuff. I think that in a perfect world, would George Pickens be there? Sure. But I don't think it's dramatic at all that he's not there. I think it's just a matter of, hey, sometimes some players and some people have places to be. but I think we all expect that he'll be there at mandatory activities a month from now.
Well, yeah, I think he will too. As we visit with RJ Ochoa from Blogging the Boys, I don't expect to see him at any voluntary workouts. Now he may show up there. He may surprise me certainly, and everybody else that think he's not going to. But I don't think there's going to be any drama when it comes time to be there because he has to be there.
Yeah, and now he's contractually obligated to be there. Right. This isn't a situation, and even like Micah Parsons, who was technically under contract last year because he was seeking an extension, that's not really possible in this situation. He has signed his franchise tag and declared that he is, in that respect, willing to show up to the mandatory things. And so I think that you just kind of, circle that and say, all right, Pickens, we'll see you then. And between now and then, if you want to show up, obviously we'll take you, and nobody will say no. But if you don't want to, well, they're called voluntary for a reason. So I don't think anybody should be too upset about this. Again, we could perfect world it to death, but I think that all is relatively, sunshine and rainbows for the Cowboys right now, and I haven't felt that way in a long time.
Yeah, a lot of honeymoon period, that's for sure, until things get going, and we'll see what happens. But they are certainly a lot better, at least on paper. RJ, I want to ask you about the schedule release. Obviously, the full schedule release will be tomorrow, but the NFL, as they always do, there will be some leaks. And all the overseas games, if you will, or foreign country games, the Cowboys are going to play in Rio de Janeiro in Week 3 against the Ravens. But there are 9 games out of the United States this year. Does that surprise you?
Well, your question is if it surprises me, and to answer the question, it does not. You did not ask if it bothered me, and I guess Pledge needs to be ready to tell everyone to get off my lawn now. It does bother me, and maybe I am just getting older, but it sucks. And look, I am inordinately blessed to do what I do for a living. I mean, I could be on the railroad. Like, life could be a lot harder. I don't mean to woe is me about my life on Sundays, but I think, I speak to a lot of people and saying, like, we have grown up our entire lives understanding that you get all your prep done on Sunday before 11, right? You do whatever it is, your honeydews, you got to go out if you're going to church, whatever, but you've got to be locked and loaded by 11 so you can sit down with Scott Hanson and the Red Zone channel. And I used to really enjoy, in even the studio shows, right? I think we all have kind of developed a rhythm and a routine. You throw this on, you're setting your fantasy lineups, right? Like you're making your last-minute wagers or whatever the case may be. And now what I don't like about this is they have taken over a whole new window. And I think that is very really the goal. The NFL has established and identified that, hey, this 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. time period, that's the only part of the day where we don't have the world. Let's invent something to get everybody hooked on us for that window as well. And we'll own you from 8 a.m. till 11 p.m. And we'll be planning ourselves in all these international markets at the same time and growing the game and making all the more money. So now my question to you, Joe, is do you agree? Do you think the NFL is sort of essentially wants to throw away the introductory part of our Sundays and start the football early in the morning every week of the season?
RJ, I'll answer that question the way I feel. The NFL likes money. And they're going to make a bunch of money in Melbourne and Rio de Janeiro and London and Paris and Madrid and Munich and Mexico City. And I think that's why they do it more so than anything else. They're trying to just conquer the world. They've already conquered the United States. I just think they're trying to conquer the world now. And it's hard to argue with them, RJ, because, you look at those London games, they're packed. And you look at the games in Germany, and it's a lottery system for 2 million people in a lottery to try and get 80,000 in a stadium, and it's hard to blame the NFL for doing it because they're making so damn much money.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and you're just talking about the ticket revenue, the gate, right?
Yep.
And there's also the local financial boom that happens to each of these economies. That small town in Madrid. You know what I mean? Like they need some help right now. But also, like I'm saying, they have invented these new windows of television, right? Like before you know it, the international games will be an entirely new individualized television package that will belong to Apple TV or Netflix or Paramount Plus or something that will specifically be yet another opportunity for the NFL to turn another faucet of endless cash on. So I agree with you. Like, I don't blame the capitalism, disposition behind this to make money. They're obviously very successful at that. But I do think that I don't think that there's a place where we could be oversaturated and have had enough of the NFL, but you mentioned the breadcrumbs and things like Thanksgiving Eve now. Like, I mean, guys, I love you so much, but man, you are just making it tough. Like, it is nice to have a day to do something else, especially around the holidays. And then it's like, you start to feel this guilt because you're like, well, I want to watch my college team, or the NBA's tipping off. I know it's more of a Christmas problem, but like, no, man, they want you and they want all of you all the time.
Well, and that's the problem for the NBA, and now the NFL's taking over Christmas as well, so they're not going to stop it at anything. RJ Ochoa, bloggingtheboys.com, joining us here on the Blitz 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. No surprise with the leaks the Cowboys, except maybe on Thanksgiving Day. And Minix and I were talking about this earlier in the week. The Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day. It's going to be a great matchup, and I know there'll be a lot of eyes on it, but I don't know how you feel, RJ, but I prefer it when they play somebody else. Like last year was Kansas City, or if they go play Miami, or if it's, I don't know, Jackson, anybody else except a division rival.
I mean, I feel, I don't know if this is exactly where you're coming from, but I feel like divisional games are so important that you shouldn't, screw with them. It's like I don't like having to play. A few times in recent years, the Cowboys have started off their first 2 weeks of the season against divisional opponents. Like, dude, whoa, those games matter way too much to be happening that early in the season when you don't know who you are. And similarly, a few years ago, Washington played 5 NFC East games in a row. They did have their bye in there, but that's just dumb. That shouldn't exist for that reason. And to your point, I would say if I was commissioner, I would never have any Thursday game between divisional rivals just because the short rest and all that stuff. But I don't know if you meant it more from a pageantry standpoint, because it is kind of cool to see some different teams and get everybody a turn, an opportunity under the sun. And even this year, the Cowboys Thanksgiving Day game falls on Fox. Last year's obviously CBS. And so a Cowboys-Eagles game on Fox, we get that all the time.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, that's really normal. So I'm kind of with you. It's nice to see something a little bit different like the Chiefs last year. My thing is, people say like, oh, they want to do this because they want massive ratings. Dude, the ratings are going to be crazy no matter what.
Exactly.
It is the second most watched television program every year outside of the Super Bowl. It could be the Cowboys versus the Joes and RJs, and it would still draw what it draws. So I don't understand the reasoning or the logic behind all of that. But yeah, it's weird and it's strange and it's awkward. I'm not like afraid of it being the Eagles or anything like that. I would like the day to feel a little bit more unique than just a standard another NFL game.
I totally agree with you on that. And when I saw that, I'm going, oh, geez, okay, whatever. Obviously, we're all going to watch, and it's going to be there, and that's just what you do on Thanksgiving Day. But I just would prefer it be somebody outside of the division. Speaking of that, and you mentioned it, opening up the season, and it seems to be a tradition. I know there's been some skips in there at times, but Cowboys opening up with the Giants, that's just about seems like every single year to me that they do that, and they usually do it in the Meadowlands.
Yeah, and they also do it on Sunday Night Football. That is kind of the tradition at this point. This I'm cool with. I know that people roll their eyes like, oh, it's just the schedule. Like, no, man, there are things you can discern from this. And so that is one of the colder climates or the possibly cold climates the Cowboys will be visiting in 2026. So now that's one that is not going to be a cold game. You get to go to this place that come December will be very cold, but you get to be there in September. So I'm very excited about that. You also could look at it strategically and say Malik Neighbors may not be healthy at this point in time, just because he's going to need a little bit longer to get fully up to speed. You also get the Caleb Downs factor, the fact that the Giants passed on him twice. You get that right away. And, it will probably take the Giants some time to find their footing under Jim Harbaugh and that new coaching staff. So, again, you get there, in the literal first time that they're working together as an entire group. And this is a team that you happen to have dominated for forever. So I love that. I am very interested in seeing who they're going to be playing in week 2, just because you mentioned the Rio de Janeiro game. That's week 3. And while that is technically a home game for the Cowboys, it obviously literally is not. So I imagine that second game will be a traditional and literal home opponent. So who will that be? Who is the kind of tomato can the Cowboys will be playing, I would imagine, at noon on Sunday of week 2 after they visit MetLife and before they head down to Brazil.
Only the NFL could make a spectacle out of a schedule release. There's not another sport in the world that could say, hey, we're going to release our schedule and you're going to have millions of people watching this thing. And it's incredible to me.
I feel so bad thinking things like this, but I was on the treadmill yesterday, humble brag, and had SportsCenter on, and they were dipping into the NBA Combine. And I just thought, like, man, y'all must be, like, what are you doing? Like, when the NFL Combine rolls around, it is like a Hollywood scene on hand. You guys think you're doing something special because you're having the NBA Combine going on? Dude, the NFL schedule is dominating your Combine. So, it is amazing, but to your point, it speaks how they can do anything they want. They can go to any country they want. They can, put games every single day of the week. And we can admit that we hate it and we don't like it, but we're going to watch all the time, no matter what. It is the most important thing in most people's lives, certainly throughout the season. But even to this point, even in the most polar opposite time of the offseason, they've got us more than everybody else.
Well, we talk football pretty much year-round now. I mean, honestly, with the schedule releases, the draft, and you got OTAs coming up and mandatory mini camps and all of that stuff, and then training camp starting in late July, there's not a lot of time where you're not talking about NFL football in some form or fashion, especially when you've got Aaron Rodgers screwing the Pittsburgh Steelers and so many storylines to talk about. RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. All right, I got a bone to pick with the Dallas Cowboys, and you're the guy that I believe I can sound off on, RJ. Cooper DeJean is dating a Dallas Cowboy. Now, to me, that should be illegal. It just really should. Now, I know the cheerleaders can't date Dallas Cowboys, but they shouldn't be able to date Philadelphia Eagles either.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the ultimate get off my lawn thing, I think. I'm a fan of love. You know what I mean? I don't really care how you find it, where you find it. If Cooper's happy, if this young lady's happy, I mean, that's really all that matters. It is funny and it is ironic. I don't think that goes without saying. To me, this is a cousin of, whenever you draft somebody and they, like you draft a guy who went to Penn State or, the Eagles draft a guy who went to Texas Tech or whatever, like, and their whole family grew up Cowboys or Eagles fans. I'm always interested in how people meet in that sense, right? Like, how did this happen? What was that moment like the first time, they learned what each other did professionally? And I'm sure that makes for some interesting conversations, but not the first Cowboys cheerleader, if I'm correct, to date an active NFL player. I believe like 15 years ago, there was a cheerleader dating a member of the Buffalo Bills.
I'm okay with that. That's fine. They date the Bills, the Dolphins, the Jags, anybody but the Eagles, Giants, or Commanders.
I mean, hey, look, but again, love is love. You know what I mean? So, and you know what? Cooper DeJean, because if you want to stretch this, his former coach is now the Cowboys defensive coordinator. Like the coach he's been most, in a football sense, intimately involved with is now running the Cowboys defense. So it's really awkward for Cooper DeJean now. Of all the Eagles, it's most awkward. So, like, Thanksgiving for him is going to be a super weird situation, having to come to AT&T Stadium and meet all the people he cares about.
Well, I tell you what, I'm a conspiracy theorist, RJ, as you probably have surmised by now, and I just, I hope she doesn't know anything or get any inside information that Cooper can, get off of her while they're pillow talking.
How do you know that she's not, doing some reconnaissance for the Cowboys?
Well, maybe
like,
she is.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how do you know she's not the one running the scheme here? Maybe she's the one doing, the intel gathering.
Well, maybe so, and guys are willing to talk usually after something like that happens. That's for sure. RJ Ochoa, I got to ask you this before I let you go. Pledge just put this up on our board on Netflix. Another season of Quarterback is coming out. You got Jaden Daniels, Joe Flacco, Baker Mayfield, and Cam Ward. Are you interested?
Mark Cuban said whatever it was, like 12 years ago, that the NFL was, what was his line about the pig and getting fat and oversaturation. We're a little bit there, as we've kind of discussed. And I'll answer this with a question, which is kind of my style. And I know you love golf, Joe. I don't know many people who love golf as much as I do. and I love Rory. It was awesome to see him win again. But so in the lead up to this year's Masters, there was a documentary on Amazon about him winning it the first time, obviously. What are we doing? It hadn't even been a year. Like, what are we doing? Like, I don't need this information quite yet. So I kind of feel that way about this. It's like, so what are we're going to see Jaden Daniels like hurt? You know what I mean? Like, we're going to see Cam Ward's team sucking. Like, these aren't, and Joe Flacco getting traded. Like, it will be cool for like maybe not 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, and then I do think that the effects will wear off. I'd rather watch it, Bill. It's going to be World Cup time soon enough. I love the NFL, but this is a little bit of a miss for me.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's I don't know. Baker Mayfield's going to be the only interesting guy there, I think. No offense to Cam Ward. Love the guy, but, when you want some personality on a show like that, Baker Mayfield's going to have to carry that thing. RJ, you got big weekend plans, brother?
PGA Championship.
Yes, sir.
Major time. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if Rory's toe is going to be a factor. I don't know if you've talked about that on this show. I know you love to talk about feet up on this program. So looking forward to the PGA Championship. And it's summertime. So I took my son for the first summer swim last weekend, so I think we'll probably be doing that again this weekend.
I don't think he has a prayer in the world, but I want the story to be written about Jordan Spieth winning the career Grand Slam. He's just not playing well enough, I don't think. So, but that's what I'm going to be watching and hoping beyond hope that it gets hot for 4 days.
That's all it takes sometimes. But, yeah, it would be funny if Rory finally broke through for the career Grand Slam and then, like, 10 minutes later, somebody else did it. So, and then if Scotty did it a month from now at the U.S. Open as well.
That would be kind of cool. RJ Ochoa, bloggingtheboys.com. Appreciate you joining us today, man.
Enjoy the toes. Appreciate it, Joe.
Yeah, appreciate it. RJ Ochoa joining us via the Buyers
Joe's
Barricades
toes.
guest line.
Put them in my mouth.
Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online at buyersbarricades.com. Our good buddy RJ Ochoa. There is nobody like him, which is probably a good thing. You know, they broke the mold when they made RJ Ochoa. We'll talk a little more Spurs basketball when we return, because I know that is fresh on everybody's mind, certainly fresh on my mind as well. We're also going to talk about how an adult toy company uncovered a theft ring. Believe it or not, we'll tell you how that happened. Coming up next, here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding 281 with The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
If you're always tired, no energy, no drive, time for you to go to Centergenics or Low T Center. You know, 1 in 4 men has low testosterone. 80% of women experience hormonal imbalance. At Centergenics, you can book a free testosterone test and see if you qualify for a TRT that's customized to your body by expert providers. New female patients, just pay your insurance copay or a $99 flat fee for a full hormone evaluation. And at Centergenics and Low T Center, you know you're dealing with the best. They've been highlighted for having the highest quality testosterone on the market. They only use pharmaceutical-grade testosterone and every treatment tailored to you. At Centergenics and Low T Center, all their providers are board-certified, and they're experts in their field, not some random chatbot or providers that you're never actually going to see. And not only with the TRT, they have a variety of peptides to help with weight loss, sleep, recovery, healing, muscle tone, even hair and skin quality. So put that spring back into your step. First thing you need to do is book that initial appointment. Easy to do. Go to the website, feelgreatlookgreat.com. Feelgreatlookgreat.com.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like customer service associate at a dry cleaning shop.
Yeah, hi. I'm here to pick up my suit.
Ah, yes. Here you go.
There must be a mistake. This is too small.
It shrunk a whole lot. Look on the bright side. Now you have a suit you can give to a child.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods. Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. Money is on the line. Always say hello with Quo. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hi, I am Officer Sarai Walton with the San Antonio Police Department. SAPD is always hiring, and you can apply online if you think you have what it takes to become part of the SAPD family. Submit your application at sapdcareers.com. Once you submit your application, you will be contacted to begin the process. The San Antonio Police Department is always hiring. Start your journey to a rewarding career by applying online at sapdcareers.com. That is sapdcareers.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Wemby and the Spurs made a statement last night. They knock off the Minnesota Timberwolves in Game 5, and now the Spurs have a 3-2 series lead. They'll look to close this thing out on Friday in Game 6 back in Minnesota. Tip-off set for 8:30. It will be televised on Amazon Prime. Cavs, Pistons tied at 2. That series is back in Detroit for an important Game 5 tonight. Tip-off set for 7 o'clock on ESPN. You can catch it right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a hump day!
Hump day!
Hump day!
Hump day!
Little more pep in my step. Ha ha ha! On this hump day. Beautiful hump day here in San Antonio.
Try to shove it up their ass.
Yeah, well, that's what the Spurs did to the Timberwolves last night. Pretty much shoved it up their ass. That's what they did. And they've got a 3-2 series lead now as they head back to Minnesota for Game 6. You know, I could sit here and complain that, dadgum, it's not until Friday. The hell are we going to do until Friday before we get to know and see the Spurs close out the Minnesota Timberwolves and move on to OKC?
It sucks, but at the same time, I understand it because it would be Thursday, but that day is now spoken for by the NFL.
Well, this is true.
And that was going to steal viewership anyway.
Well, maybe so. And I think there would have been some NBA basketball had New York and Oklahoma City not swept their particular opponents. So I think that had something to do with it, but it is what it is, and so we'll go from there. Again, Detroit and Cleveland in a big Game 5 for that series coming up tonight in Detroit. You can listen to it here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. And then no basketball at all tomorrow, nothing. You know, it's kind of weird when you've got playoff basketball every single day, and then you skip a day. So I don't know. But the Spurs can rest up. I know Anthony Edwards last night said that he was happy for the 2-day break. And, well, they need to go back to the drawing board, I think, and figure out a way to try and make a game out of Game 6. They did a little bit last night. I mean, they really did. And I'll give the Timberwolves a little bit of credit for coming out in that third quarter, playing the way that they did. But they tied the game. They just and then the Spurs just went off. By the way, I'm Joe Reinagle. Jason Minnick's not here today. Little unexpected family business came up that he's got to tend to. So we will. He'll be back whenever he gets that resolved and taken care of and all of that stuff. So we wish him well, and we'll move on. Pledge and I. Without him, with your help, of course, everybody that's listening out there, however you are doing that, we certainly do appreciate it. You can comment on anything we're talking about, and I know everybody wants to comment on what they saw last night from the San Antonio Spurs. Go to our YouTube page. You go to sasportstar.com. You can get there that way. You can comment, like, and subscribe our page if you would. We'd appreciate that. You can get me on Twitter at Joe Reinagle 210, or you can do it the old-fashioned way and just give us a phone call. Yeah, 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. That's how you get it done. Eagle fan on our YouTube page is saying they go small ball. And I'm almost wondering if they have anything to lose. And, of course, I'm talking about Minnesota. Rudy Gobert's been awful in this series. He's been awful. And last night was the worst game of the series for him. He was terrible. He couldn't score. He couldn't defend. He couldn't do anything. And, in fact, Wemby was making a fool out of him. I almost felt sorry for the big fella last night. Almost. Not quite, but almost. I mean, he was awful. He was flat out awful. So it would not surprise me to see a Naz Reid start on Friday night and not a Rudy Gobert. I don't know if that's sustainable or if they want to do that or if it's too late in the season to start thinking about stuff like that. But, I mean, at this point in time, what do you have to lose? You got a must-win game. You got to pull out all the stops on Friday night if you're Minnesota and try and get it done.
We've reached it. Must win.
It is a must-win game for real. That's the way that it is. And that's the only time it's a must-win game. You know, not in Game 2, as we were trying to make it. Minnick's trying to make Game 2 a must-win for the San Antonio Spurs.
Felt like a must-win.
No, it didn't. I wasn't worried. Pledge, were you?
About
Game 2.
You dropped both games at home? Yeah, it would be a little worried.
Nah.
There'd be some concern.
It's all good. There was nothing to worry about. Hindsight's 20/20, buddy, and I wasn't worried at all. Even if I said I was that day, I was just kidding.
I wasn't worried last night.
Hey, we're going to talk a lot of Spurs, but now let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Brought to you by Novo Brazil Brewery in North Star Mall. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
Crazy story, how you catch. You know, sometimes if you're a crook and you are doing things wrong, it's the most things you wouldn't think about that get you caught. And that's exactly what happened in this situation. It was a used car lot. Apparently, was a place for stolen goods. And people come almost, a fence? The other way they called it back in Starsky and Hutch is a fence. And so if you steal something, you bring it there, they'll pay you for it. Well, apparently these guys were stealing or buying from an adult toy story company. Adult toy store.
Adult toy
yeah,
story?
Yeah, well, that's the next movie that's coming out.
They were selling a bunch of Woodies?
They were selling stuff that produced Woodies, apparently. That's,
Woodies and Buzzes?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So this company checked them out and then called the cops. And that's how these people were uncovered. $500,000 in recovered goods is what they uncovered between tools, Nike jeans, Yeti mugs, Acer computers, and some adult toys, obviously. But that's how these guys caught. This happened in Los Angeles. It's the craziest story. So there was also a stockpile of sex toys, apparently, according to this story. But That's what happened. So this company got suspicious and called the cops, and they raided this place, and bam.
How many's in a stockpile?
Took them down. Well, I don't know. It doesn't say. It doesn't specify, but I would assume a lot. I don't know if they were all the same thing, if they plugged in or not. So I don't know, but I thought that was kind of bizarre to happen in L.A., and well,
sounds like the cops unplugged it.
Well, they certainly did. In that situation, yes, they certainly did. In Hawaii, if you go to Hawaii on vacation, I just got a little advice for you. Don't throw rocks into the water at the seals.
Why would you do that anyway?
Well, I don't know. Some D-bag did that. And
he needed to get his ass kicked.
He did. He did. So some guy is standing there on the beach, and there's seals out just right there. He picks up a big rock, throws it out into the water, scares the hell out of one of the seals. Fortunately, he didn't hit the seal. But as he's walking back, one of the locals beat the crap out of him.
Give that man a medal.
Well, they did. Hawaii awarded him with a letter of recognition for beating the crap out of this tourist who was just being a donkey. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but he was just being a donkey. Don't do that if you go to Hawaii. I mean, just enjoy the beauty, walk on the beach, enjoy the seals. They're always kind of nice.
Don't do that anywhere.
Well, I agree. You know, I always love going to, and when we go to Cowboys training camp,
Didn't you try and start a fight with a walrus or something?
I did not. He tried to start a fight with me. Now, look, the walrus is going to kick my ass, okay? So I'm not going to try to start a fight with a walrus because those things are huge. I'd like to say I could outrun him, but I wouldn't want to take that bet. So it's always cool to see these things. So you see the walrus, you see a bunch of seals everywhere, and they come right up on the pier, and it's just kind of cool to see them. Now, they're a little annoying with the sounds that they make, but other than that, they're fine. So just don't throw rocks in the water at seals, okay? Don't do that. Because if you do in Hawaii, you just might get your butt kicked, and that's possible, and whoever does that's going to get a letter of recognition. There's also a story today about hot dog vendors. Apparently, they're having turf wars. I love wieners. And one such turf war led to a sidewalk brawl between two female wiener slingers. That's the headline. I didn't make that up, okay? Two female wiener slingers. Here's the problem. So what these hot dog vendors are doing, according to this article that I read, they're setting up shop in front of businesses. Now, the businesses don't like that, obviously, because it makes it more difficult for people to get into their business. And they try to make a move, and they won't move. It's almost like they claim that spot. Well, in this particular vendor war between these two female wiener slingers, one female wanted the other female's spot, and the female that had the spot wasn't willing to give up that spot. So it led to a brawl. Now, the article doesn't say who won the brawl, but I want to see two female wiener slingers brawl. I don't know who came up with that.
I don't either, but I also did they inadvertently come up with a new name for working women?
Wiener slingers? God, I hope not. I don't want anybody.
Ladies of the night, if you will.
I don't think anybody wants to have their wieners slung necessarily.
Hey, whatever you're into.
I don't know. I don't care. Well, you do you. That's for sure. Oh my goodness. The schedule release has come out, and there's 9 games
slinging wieners
that are going to. Well, there will be wiener slingers there for sure. 9 games out of the country.
Yeah,
which is the most they've ever had.
It's half the schedule,
including the Cowboys, including the Texans. They have a game overseas as well. And everybody's making a big deal about George Pickens not being there at Cowboys camp. Let's talk about it. We'll do that when we continue here on The Blitz. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, injuries happen. When they do, skip the ER and go to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. They're conveniently located over in the Corey area. They do have extended hours Monday through Saturday. On-site x-ray casting and bracing. In fact, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you hurt yourself, get to the OrthoNow Injury Clinic. Learn more online at tsaog.com. That's tsaog.com.
The Headline Blitz is brought to you by Novo Brewery, San Antonio's newest sports watching destination with over 80 feet of video walls, 60 craft beers, and hard kombucha on tap. A full bar and delicious menu. Novo Brewery is attached to North Star Mall and open late hours. San Antonio's playoff headquarters has arrived. Novo Brewery features 80 feet of video walls, craft beers, hard kombucha on tap, and the food menu that means business. Thick-cut ribeye, picanha prime sirloin, Brazilian empanadas, stacked burgers, carne asada fries, and more. And with its own private entrance separate from North Star Mall, no hassle, just you, your crew, and the biggest screens in the city at Novo Brewery. Open late. Visit novobrew.com. Novo Brewery. Come hungry. Stay for the game.
Hello.
I didn't make it into medical school, Dad.
Huh?
I didn't have an A in all my subjects, so I can't get in.
What do you mean, all these years I supported you, all the money I poured into your education, you don't get all A's? What was your bad subject? Chemistry, physiology, what?
No, Dad, spelling.
Spelling?
Yeah.
What, was it some funny microorganisms you couldn't spell or what?
No, kinetico.
Kinetico?
Yeah.
You mean the water conditioner that uses no electricity? Are you kidding? Everybody knows how to spell Kinetico.
Not me.
Everybody knows Kinetico is the water conditioning company that revolutionized the water industry.
Sorry, Dad.
Everybody knows that Kinetico is spelled Kinetico.
I thought the instructor said Connecticut. That
Oh,
means Coast
son,
Little
you should have remembered kinetic as in kinetic energy with an O on the end. Kinetico.
Kinetico. Spell it Kinetico.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Kinetico. SA.com.
Gomez Law Firm has been fighting for the rights of San Antonians for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here. What is something you see often as a personal injury attorney and protecting your clients?
The one thing we always see without fault in a case is that the insurance company will always reach out to them soon after the collision and they try to get them to agree to a low settlement. They try to get them to agree to signing a piece of paper. They want them essentially to sign their rights away without ever even consulting with an attorney. Right? In the grand scheme of things, if you sign a piece of paper, you're signing your future interest away. So that's why it's so important to call the Gomez Law Firm, because we make sure we protect your rights and you're not signing your life away, you're not signing your rights away.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then call the Gomez Law Firm first. 210-736-4040 or visit joegomezlaw.com. Protect your family and protect your rights.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
Drivers who switch to Progressive could save hundreds just by bundling home and auto insurance, because you can't go wrong saving money. Unless you spend it on a guitar and never learn to play it, but lie and say that you did. Then someone hands you a guitar at a party and asks you to play, so you decide to improvise this.
Well, don't you know that but that's not it. Dreams are fun and also good.
Yep, you can't go wrong bundling and saving money with Progressive. Well, depends on how you spend it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
She was the sister who went unnoticed.
A daffodil might look plain next to a lily, but on its own there is much to be admired.
Now, her greatest chapter is yet to come.
The most important thing is to be yourself.
From the world of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice comes a new BritBox original drama,
Mary, you will flourish.
Based on the best-selling novel, The Other Bennett Sister, now streaming only on BritBox. Watch with a free trial at BritBox.com.
Move over, Chips. There's a new crunchier MVP in the snack aisle. Enter pork rinds. Southern recipe pork rinds are low-carb, gluten-free, and packed with protein to keep you going. And the flavors, big, bold, crunchy. From sweet barbecue to hot honey, every bite brings that flavor-packed crunch you crave. Grab your favorites today at H-E-B or online at porkrinds.com. Southern recipe pork rinds are your snack time, crunch time hero.
All right, step up. If you really know the Rangers, this is your game on Rangers Game Day. Make your call in the morning huddles, Ranger Double Dinger Payday. Pick the Ranger who takes one deep. He hits one, you're in. Ranger tickets. He hits two. Now we're talking tickets and a hotel stay. Big swings, big rewards. Wake up with the Morning Huddle and cash in with the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers. The NFL is on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's out. The newest song by Kingdom Collapse called Survivor, released today. It's a great song. If you haven't heard this thing, you need to listen to it. It really is a good song. But let me tell you, even better than the song, the video, the acting in the video, especially by one of the doctors with a goatee, is Oscar-worthy. Oscar-worthy. I'm just saying.
I don't know. I think the celebration at the end.
That's all right. Whatever. Great song, though, and congratulations to Kingdom Collapse, local band who is really starting to climb the ladder of success, man. Really happy for those guys, and I know they're out on tour right now, but I think they're at the Rock Box on June 4th. So that'll be cool. So if you're thinking about that, but that's their newest song, and it is a really good song. Jason and I were fortunate enough to be a part of their music video. We shot that thing. So if you get a chance to look at it, let us know how we did. Minnick's had a speaking part. I'm not sure how he got that, and I didn't. But, I digress. I'm not jealous or anything. Well, maybe a little. I don't know. No, it was a lot of fun. In all seriousness, it was a lot of fun. So congratulations to Kingdom Collapse, and much success to them as they move forward. Now, I'm looking through our YouTube page here, and I don't know, call me naive or dumb or whatever you want to call me. I don't really care. Aaron Hernandez says on our YouTube page, Wemby Cadazzo. And I'm thinking, well, what the hell does that mean? So I go to the AI and say, translate Cadazzo. And I hope I'm saying that right. Cadazzo. I'm sure there's a Hispanic accent to that, or I don't know. And I'm probably saying it like just a white guy, Cadazzo. I don't know. But it translates to nudge, jab, or elbow. So now I know. So, and I saw some of those. I want to say I saw some of those last night at the game or somewhere where they had that. But, I appreciate it, Aaron Hernandez. Thank you for educating me on another Spanish word. I appreciate that. Wemby elbow. I like it, I think, which leads us to this. Again, the national media a little bit jealous, if you will, because Wemby did throw the elbow. A lot of people did deem it as, intentional, including me. I think it was intentional. I think he was frustrated and just wanted to pop somebody. He did it, didn't get suspended, did not get a fine at all. And from what I understand, listening, typically there's a $2,000 fine that's automatic. Apparently, he didn't get that either. They just wiped out everything. And so a lot of the national media are a little bit upset by that. We'll get into that here in a little bit. So we want to talk a lot of Spurs, but I just want to know how you guys feel about that. And look, if you've lived in San Antonio, if you're old enough to have gone through the dynasty of the Spurs, from 99 to 2014, look, we never got any recognition nationally. Nobody looked at San Antonio. Now they do. As you look back and you see people say, what a great run that was. Spurs went 20 straight years in the playoffs. 20 straight years in the playoffs. That is just an incredible achievement for any franchise, sports franchise. And so hopefully that's going to, maybe we'll see this dynasty break that record. Who knows? But we'll see what happens. But a lot of the national media a little bit upset by that. So we're going to talk more Spurs, and I do want you guys to chime in. We do have a poll up on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. Does Dylan Harper remind you, not as good as, does he remind you of Manu Ginobili? Right now, we've got 115 votes already in just a little over, an hour and 20 minutes or so. 66% of you say yes. 34% of you say no. And I asked that question not because I thought of it necessarily or even think that necessarily, but after Dylan Harper made that incredible dunk last night, Manu Ginobili tweeted out that it was a thing of beauty, and then the comments that followed that were, it reminds us of you. It looks like you. That's what you used to do, yada, yada, yada. And I retweeted If you go to my Twitter page or however you do that, at Joe Reinagle 210, you'll see what I'm talking about. They put two videos on top of each other. Dylan Harper on top, Monty Ginobili on bottom. Both of them going in for a breakaway dunk like Harper had last night. And I got to admit that the moves look very similar. They do. Now, that may be a one-off. It may not be anything else that he does that will remind you of Monty Ginobili. But in that particular situation, it did. So vote in our poll. You can vote however you want to. There's no right or wrong answer in this one. But go there and vote, yes or no. Does Dylan Harper remind you of Monty Ginobili? Right now, 67% of you say, yes, he does. If you don't feel that way, vote no. And again, I'm not going to yell at you or tell you to get off my lawn or anything else. There's no right or wrong answer here. I just want to know what you guys thought because in that particular situation, it was very, very, very familiar and very like Monty Ginobili. We'll get back to the Spurs here coming up in the next segment, but I wanted to talk about the NFL schedule release, which will be official, and all of it will come out tomorrow night. But the NFL has released all the, I want to say overseas, but not all of these games are overseas.
International games.
International games. Thank you, Pledge. Because like Mexico City's not overseas, right? Rio de Janeiro's not overseas. I guess those are the only two. Everything else is. Melbourne, Australia, London, Paris, Madrid, and Munich, Germany. The Rams and 49ers will open up overseas in Melbourne, Australia in week 1, which is interesting to me because I've never been to Australia. I've always wanted to go until I find out the flight's like 24 hours long. And I don't know about you, but if I'm in a plane longer than about 3 hours, I'm ready to get the hell off of it. No matter what seat you're sitting in, whether you're sitting in economy or first class or otherwise, I'm ready to get the hell out of there. I can't imagine being on an airplane for 24 hours straight. That would just be, I think, torture. Now, I guess you could just, slam a few drinks and try to sleep, but then you still got a lot of time even when you wake up.
Maybe.
I guess.
I mean, yes, it is a long time on a plane, but I feel like I'd sleep through a good chunk of it.
Well, some of it, I'm sure, depending on where you're at, though. I mean, if you can't afford the schwanky seats, then you got to sit there and hopefully you have a neck pillow or something.
Oh, I can sleep.
See, I can't because what?
You're old.
Well, no, or even when I was young, Pledge, and my neck bounces, right? So when I fall asleep, and you wake up. And I can't keep it from doing that. And I don't like to sit on the window seat. So I'm an aisle guy. I've always been an aisle guy. I don't like sitting on the window seat. I certainly don't like sitting in the middle seat. So it's hard to sleep. And I've never bought one of those pillows that you put around your neck for various reasons. And I don't want to say why because I don't want to insult anybody.
Oh, I need to know this now.
Well, it's like I know it's probably comfortable, but it looks goofy as hell. All right, can we admit that? I mean, do any of you guys have a neck pillow? And if you do, talk me into one. Because I've seen a commercial on TV now in some of these places. It's like a Be Cozy.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that?
No.
Oh.
But I know what you're talking about.
Well, it's called a Be Cozy, and it kind of wraps around your neck, and apparently it keeps your head up like this. And I don't know, but they look goofy as hell. But I guess on an airplane, who cares?
Yeah. I mean, who are you trying to impress on a 24-hour flight?
Depends on the flight attendant, Pledge. I mean, you never know. You never know.
So Maggie's not going on this trip with you?
I'm talking back in the day, way back in the day.
I was talking about this year's Australia game.
Yeah, sometimes they are shiny, sometimes not so much, but
as long as they keep the drinks flowing, I don't care what they look like.
There's that, and then there were a couple of dudes on the flight I had the other day because I had to fly from San Antonio to Dallas, and so the San Antonio to Dallas flight was a couple of dudes on there.
So you got a problem with male flight attendants now?
Not necessarily, but I mean, because I wouldn't mind. I could do that. I could do that.
Yeah.
I think it'd be kind of fun, maybe for a flight or two. I don't know.
You get think of all the traveling you get to do.
Well, I think it would be kind of cool, but I mean,
you get free flights places.
Part of the deal, and look, I don't know about most other airlines because I mostly fly Southwest, but on Southwest, every now and then, you're, oh, hey. But then there's most of the time it's like, okay, yeah, I just need a drink. I'm good. And then you can go. That's like, I don't know. But I can't imagine being on an airplane for 24 hours. But the Rams and the 49ers will do that. And they actually play on Wednesday night here in San Antonio, which is actually Thursday in Australia. So it's really kind of weird.
Perfect.
Yeah, so Cowboys and Ravens in Week 3 in Rio de Janeiro. You got the Colts and Commanders Week 4 in London.
There we go.
And then the Jags play their 2 in a row, as they've been doing here now for the last several years. Week 5 against the Eagles. Week 6 against the Texans.
Which leads me to believe, knowing that aspect of the schedule, shortly thereafter will likely be the Texans-Eagles game. If they're both going to London, likely after you're coming out of that, after their bye week's going to be right after they get back from London probably, I would imagine those two would meet.
Well, the Texans will have the advantage there because the Eagles will have the bye week when the Texans-Jags are playing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Texans will have a bye week and the Eagles will be back. So maybe that benefits Houston in that situation. Week 7, the Steelers and the Saints play in Paris. Week 9, Cincinnati and Atlanta play in Madrid, which is a place I would like to go. I've always wanted to go to Spain.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a good one to cover. I'm not sure how good that game is going to be, but I'd like to go. Week 10 in Munich, Germany, Patriots and Lions. You think Vrabel brings Rossini? I mean, it's out of town. Nobody knows them there. I mean, maybe it's.
I think everybody knows them by now.
Well, maybe so. We'll see what happens. And then it wraps up in Week 11 with Vikings 49ers in Mexico City. And I'm really kind of surprised that I'm surprised the Cowboys didn't go to Mexico City. Mexico City is a big Cowboys town. I mean, it really is. A lot of Cowboy fans in Mexico City.
Jerry has business in Rio.
Well, maybe that's it, and maybe there are a lot of fans in Rio too. Who knows? But I have a feeling it will be a Cowboys home crowd in Rio de Janeiro against the Ravens. Tough game.
I don't think where they play matters. It's going to be a home crowd.
Well, that's absolutely true. So there you go. 9 games internationally this year, which is amazing. I talked to RJ Ochoa. We did not too long ago, earlier in the show, and he was surprised by that. But look, they just keep ringing that cash register, man.
I love the fact that the Texans-Jaguars game is the London game. Takes a home game away from Jacksonville.
Well, it takes 2. They missed 2 home games.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
I see what you're saying.
The Texans won't have to play in Jacksonville this year.
I think London, I mean, it's basically, they play 2 games there every year. I think that's basically their home field now.
Home-ish.
Maybe.
There's still a smattering of jerseys throughout, even at their home games.
Well, that's what I love about these international games, because it doesn't matter who's playing. There'll be jerseys from every NFL team that there is. And so, but that's just, that's the fun of it.
Although I would expect in the very near future to see the Texans probably playing a home game in Germany.
Well, yeah, we'll
Marlon
see.
Klein, the tight end they took, he is a German guy that moved to the United States to play football.
Well, it's not going to end. They're just making too much money, so it's not going to end. Whether it's ticket sales, merchandise, all of that stuff, it's not going to end. So expect at least 9 every year, if not more, in the very near future. So, well, again, the schedule release, the full schedule release will happen tomorrow night. And so you'll know exactly where your favorite team plays, when they play, who they play, and all of that kind of stuff.
It's more about the stretches and where the bye week lands.
Well, yeah, we already know the home and away opponents. You just don't know when those opponents are going to be played.
How many straight home, how many straight road?
Well, the Cowboys are going to lose a home game, too. That is a home game for them in Rio de Janeiro. So, which kind of
time.
Which I get it, but it kind of sucks because I'd kind of like to go see that game, see Lamar Jackson play. Never seen that guy live in person. I kind of like to go to Jerry World and see him play. But
you can go to Houston and watch him.
Well, okay. Going to be interesting. We'll talk a lot about that coming up tomorrow. But today it's all about the San Antonio Spurs and what they did last night. They're 1 win away from going to the Western Conference Finals. That is incredible to say after it's been, 7 years since they made the playoffs, 11 years since they won their last championship, and now they are one win away from the Western Conference Finals and the big bad OKC Thunder. Oh, my goodness. It is going to be fun. Can't wait till Friday night, and I really hope they close that thing out because, well, OKC is just sitting and resting and getting well, getting healed.
Or getting rusty.
Well, or getting rusty. We'll see what happens. The Spurs certainly were in the first game in this Minnesota series. That's for sure. We're talking Spurs basketball when we continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Let me tell you about my good friends at Stevens Roofing. You know, I love talking about Stevens Roofing, especially now with all the rain that we've had. My goodness, I hope that nothing has happened to your roof. But if you suspect that something has happened, well, you want to call the best. And the best is absolutely Stevens Roofing and Solar. Look, they've been in business since 1983. And typically when you have these storms, and I'm sure there are more in the forecast, we are in springtime here in San Antonio, and that happens. You just have these, these trucks that just drive all around the city and knock on your door and want to help you out. They're going to help you out of your money is basically all they're going to do, and then they're going to leave town, and you'll never hear from them again. That doesn't happen with Stevens Roofing and Solar. They're here. Again, they've been here since 1983. They're not going anywhere. But it ought to tell you the type of work that they do. They certainly stand behind their work. That is for sure. And they've got a ton of satisfied customers. No question about it, because you don't stay in business if you don't. But if you think there is something wrong with your roof, give them a call. 210-785-0994. They'll send an experienced team out to your house. They will check your roof, and they'll do it for free. They'll let you know if there's any problems that need some attention, and if they do, they're right there to take care of it for you. They're going to get it done, and you know they're going to get it done right. Stevens Roofing and Solar, the absolute best in the business, 210-785-0994, or you can get them online at stevensroofing.net.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Coming up on the Morning Huddle, we got an off day for the Spurs, so let's spend it talking some football.
We get new schedule coming all the time, and the NBA Combine is happening. Is there somebody worthy of the Spurs? Lots to talk about. Oh, we'll get you ready for big games as well. Get here early. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Eczema, eczema, eczema. So many ads for eczema products. But those fancy TV ads don't mention that those prescription products can cost thousands of dollars. There's a smarter way. It's Exerting for eczema and dermatitis. Exerting costs less than $20. Yep, less than $20. You don't need a prescription, and it's available on the first aid aisle of your local store. Exerting contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean, hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives or nasty chemicals. Exerting. Fast, effective relief from the itching and inflammation of eczema. This stuff really does work. Take back control. Heal eczema flares with soothing Exerting Flare Control Cream. It's on the first aid aisle of your local drugstore, supermarket, and at Target and Walmart too. Exerting for eczema. Now that's smart.
All right, our Sports Star crew, listen up. If you want to keep winning in life like our San Antonio Spurs do on the court, head over to Game Day Men's Health. Cibolo shirts or Alamo Ranch, the roster stacked with all-stars just like our Spurs. Experts trained in hormonal health, erectile dysfunction, weight loss, advanced peptide therapies. Why go to the G League when you can take your talents straight to the top, baby? Whether you're tired all the time, you've got low energy, maybe you've got some weight gain or the brain fog, maybe you need a little help in the bedroom. I'm not here to judge. They've got you covered. Their Hall of Fame team and services like testosterone replacement and peptide therapies will get you back in the game. Located in Alamo Ranch or choose the Cibolo Shirts location on I-35 and 3009 across the highway from HEB. Call 830-376-9100 or visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com and book your appointment today. Win back your health, win back your life. It's game day. Let's go. That's 830-376-9100.
Some people reach a line and stop. Some hit a wall and turn around. Then there are the ones who cross the line, climb the wall, face obstacles, and turn them to their advantage. That's where we come in. We're the next rodeo. We design bold marketing that drives real growth. A creative partner for businesses ready to push forward beyond what's expected. The Next Rodeo. Learn more at thenextrodeo.com.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
How does the defendant plead?
Guilty.
Wait, what?
Also, objection.
You object to what?
Erroneous.
Counsel, approach the bench.
Hey, can I get a whack at the gavel?
You wouldn't settle for just any lawyer, so don't settle for just any insurance. Get the real deal with State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The Morning Huddle.
I told my wife whenever I get cremated, make sure you tell the guy, oh, he had gout.
Yeah, he's
yeah, there's going to be some stuff left over.
So really, you got to turn the heat up just a little bit more. He's carrying a lot of grease, a lot of gout. So.
I like to imagine
it's gonna be like an out of control grease fire. You're not gonna be able to put it out.
I like to imagine that the alcohol in me is gonna help burn all the extra grease.
It burns
and fat.
a blue flame. Hey, this one smells like a 17-year-old's ashtray. He smells like weed.
No, it smells like bourbon in here.
It smells like bourbon and weed.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great hump day out there, whatever you're doing, however you are doing it. We appreciate you stopping by here. This is the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. Jason Minnick's off today. He'll be off for a couple of days, taking care of some unexpected family business. So we wish him well taking care of that. And but we'll survive. James Pledger is here, and Antonio Daniels is going to join us at the bottom of the next hour at 4:35. We'll visit with Antonio Daniels, former Spur, former champion with the Spurs.
You mean that guy that was sitting next to David Robinson last night?
Yeah, that guy, yes. I shouldn't say former champion. He's a champion. San Antonio Spurs champion. He's going to join us to talk about last night's game and the series in general and what his feelings are on the San Antonio Spurs. And how they look and just how far he thinks they can go. Antonio Daniels is going to join us here live on the Blitz, coming up about 4:35 today, so keep that in mind. And if you have to leave, get back here so you can hear that. It's going to be great to talk to AD, that is for sure. Haven't talked to him in a while. I'm looking forward to that. Last night was a butt kicking. I mean, let's face it, it was. It was a good game for a while. Although the Spurs developed or built up a 12-point lead at halftime last night. The Timberwolves made a great run to open up the third quarter to tie the game at 61. They had an opportunity to take the lead and couldn't get that done. And after that, the Spurs said, well, hey, hold my beer. And they just took off, and there was nothing the Timberwolves could do about it. Spurs go on to win this thing going away. They've got a 3-2 series lead now. They can wrap this thing up in Minnesota on Friday night. Wemby was back last night, and I don't know how many of you guys saw this on the NBC broadcast last night. I didn't really think much of it. Pledge saw it and thought it was a little bit weird, and I know there's been some others that thought it was. NBC really billed Wemby's return as the return of a conquering hero. He was coming back and just had, he had to swim across the Gulf to get here, and it's just amazing what he had to do. And again, I didn't really think much of it, and maybe I just wasn't paying much attention to the intro there. But it bothered a lot of people, especially the national media. And even on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, there was one comment there that I agree with. If this would have happened to anybody else, not named Victor Wembanyama, they probably would not have played last night. And, I mean, again, NBC wanted Wemby on the floor last night. The NBA wanted Wemby on the floor last night. Conspiracy theory or not doesn't make any difference, but it's certainly pissing off some of the national media. When you look at what was said last night, or this morning, actually, what's the guy's name, Pledge?
Dan Le Batard?
That guy. Listen to his little group of minions and what they had to say about Wemby coming back.
Did you guys find it interesting at all last night? This is unusual, that Wemby was being celebrated as a story of redemption.
So weird.
And the amazing return on the story arc of a guy who did something profoundly dirty during an NBA playoff game and probably wouldn't have been playing last night if he had done that and been just about anybody else in the world. We're already starting a story that we're going to get really tired of 5 years from now if you allow the 7'3" guy to derail OKC and swing his elbows and be the positive story because he's French and a little different. Like, that was super weird last night to see him celebrated as a conquering hero because he's got 16 points in the first 6 minutes because he's bigger than everyone else and he's growing both physically and as a player, and this is going to destroy the league soon. You could have knocked him out for a game and at least treated the return as if it was controversial, not, wow, this is heroic. The guy who's taller than everyone else is going to be better than everyone else.
If you didn't know the full context of what took place and you just turned on the game in the first quarter last night, you would have thought this was a conquering hero returning to the floor. I thought the way the broadcast treated it last night was so strange. It was as if he was the one who was done wrong, and now he's back, and this is such an incredible story, this performance he's putting together, when the fact of the matter is he did something unbelievably dirty and probably cost his team Game 4.
But this is the Wemby propaganda that I've been railing against. Everything that he does is perfect. Everything he does is better than everybody else.
He was really good in that first quarter.
He was great. Okay,
night.
He was great in the first quarter. He had 16 to 18 points. That's not the point. The point is they were cheering him like if he had just come back like Ricky Pearsall got shot and came back.
It's true. It's true.
A heroic return by Wemby. I'm surprised part of the narrative wasn't, thank God he didn't hurt his elbow on that guy's jaw. You know, it was over the top, but expected.
To be fair, thank God he didn't hurt his elbow on that guy's jaw.
Well, that is true. I'm pretty happy that he didn't. But look, Le Batard's not the only one. Nick Wright, who does a show on somewhere on Fox, I'm not sure what it's called, but he was talking about the same thing. And so it's pissed a lot of the national media off, the way that NBC treated the return of one Victor Wembanyama last night. And I think it's to be expected, folks. And look, we're used to that here in San Antonio. Whether it's, I don't know, I'm going to call it jealousy. That's what I'm going to call it. Look, he's on the Spurs. He could have very well been on somebody else's team had they won the lottery. It's just so the Spurs got lucky. They got the number 1 draft pick, and now Victor Wembanyama is here in San Antonio. But while I think back on it and think, yeah, okay, it is a little bit weird. The guy, whether you think he should have been suspended or not, really is doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It just he wasn't. And I think the NBA, again, wanted Wemby on the floor last night. NBC wanted Wemby on the floor last night. You can't convince me otherwise that that's a huge reason why Wemby was not suspended. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't fined either. So nothing. And that's really pissing people off. But get used to that, because I think especially the Spurs go on a run here of championship runs, then it's only going to get worse. You heard Le Batard. He's going to destroy the NBA?
Well, I think the most important thing he said is the guy is still growing both physically and mentally in this game.
Well, how the hell is he going to destroy the NBA? I mean, in all honesty,
he's going to take it over.
Well, okay. Look, there's been a lot of guys that take over the NBA. Michael Jordan did that. LeBron James, there were times where he did that. And you can go back to the Lakers of the 80s. I mean, I just don't understand that. There's always been those teams and those players that were just a little bit better than everybody else. And I think with Wemby, I think that the problem for a lot of people is the fact that he's 7 foot, whatever he is. I mean, 7'4", 5, 6, 7. I don't know where he's at. I think 7'4" is official.
I have that Nick Wright tweet, by the way.
Yeah, you do?
This game is being framed as someone. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This game is being framed as some return of a wronged hero, R.E. Wemby, rather than a guy who was very fortunate that he hadn't been suspended after wildly flagrant elbow to an opponent's throat is just wild to me.
Well, and look, that's his opinion, and he's entitled to it. But it's not Wemby's fault.
No.
I mean, what's Wemby going to say? Oh, NBA, you're wrong. I'm going to sit this one out.
No, but I mean, at the same time, they're also not wrong in the fact that he was being praised as the return of some hero last night.
I'm going to have to go back and listen to the introduction and the pregame show because I guess I just wasn't paying enough attention to that.
It sounded weird on the broadcast to me too. I was like, I'm sitting here working, listening to it, going, is he returning from an injury or like they made it seem like some kind of big
and like he was the guy that got popped in the mouth.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Yeah. It's well, look again. We can't help what NBC does or what they say. I mean that, and again, it's not San Antonio's fault. It's not Wemby's fault. It's just NBC. If you're mad at anybody, be mad at NBC. If that's what it is. So, I don't know, but I thought it was important. And again, I didn't pay that much attention to it, but then I'm seeing the tweets and from what everybody said on their shows. And it's just, to me, I guarantee you, I just think it's a little bit of jealousy at its best. That is for sure. Alexandra, it's good to hear from you, Alexandra, on our YouTube page. She says, wah, 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 move on, clown, or payaso. I don't know what you want to say there. Did you say it in Spanish, Alexandra, or in English? We're going to say it in Spanish, payaso. But Puma Grub says the same thing. They're all rage baiting, which is a great term that Wemby has come up with. Now, I don't know if anybody has ever used that term, rage baiting, but that's what Wemby, how he described. When you look at if you recall, he had a little early altercation with one of the Timberwolves last night, Io. And here's how he described what happened. Two players.
Yeah, I feel like the rage baiting would have been maybe one of the strategies. So I feel like we need to stay composed as a team.
Okay, and he did. Look, to Wemby's defense last night, he looked like he was about as laid back as anybody. I mean, he like everything. Nothing was going to get to this guy. Nothing was going to happen at all. And maybe part of that was the fact that Greg Popovich met Wemby at the airport when they came back from Minnesota.
I'm not going to leak anything he said, obviously, but he maybe wanted to, make a statement or make his talking even more impactful by being there. But he gives feedback and talks to us regularly, throughout series, throughout games. So, as always, when he speaks, everybody listens.
Yeah, well, this is true, and they still do. And Pop's been around the practice facility a lot. And, in fact, before last night's game, Manu Ginobili was there as well. And then, again, what I love seeing, especially in the crowd, and if you watched the game on TV last night like I did, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Antonio Daniels was there with David Robinson. Tim Duncan was there. And you've got these former players that are there and supporting this young bunch of Spurs. And I think look, it's different than anywhere else. It just is. San Antonio, the players stay here. A lot of them elect to live here in San Antonio. They don't leave. And it's just a different vibe. It's a different vibe. It is a family atmosphere, that is for sure. And I love seeing those guys out there. Now, what are the Minnesota Timberwolves going to do in Game 6? That's got to be on their mind, Chris Finch's mind, from now until Friday night at 8:30. because especially when Wemby's on the floor. Because if you listen to Ant last night after the game, Timberwolves didn't have any answers for him.
I mean, tonight, some of the stuff that Wemby was doing, you don't really have too much of an answer for it. Just kind of hope he misses. But he came out high. He made a bunch of shots. I feel like we adjusted, fought back in the game. Tried to dig ourselves out of the hole, but I mean, eventually they created another league and running out in transition. We got to get back, get matched up. Just game plan mistakes that we keep making, and it's too late in the series to make these mistakes.
Well, and Ant, you need some help, buddy. I mean, let's face it. Rudy Gobert's been no help to you. Julius Randle's been no help to you. DeSomu was a little bit of help last night because he probably played the best game of this series. But you need some help. McDaniels was in foul trouble early on, as was Steph Castle, though, by the way. Both of those guys with 3 fouls early. What did you guys think of last night's game and what took place? Or if you want to comment on the media jealousy, as I'm calling it today, you can do that. 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. Let's go to the phone lines. Ray is on the phone. Ray, what did you think about it?
Hey, guys, thanks for taking my call. As always, man, go Spurs, go. What a game that was. I think it's over. I think they finish them out in Minnesota. I think Spurs are going to come out looking to close them out. I cannot wait for tomorrow's game. I cannot wait until we beat Minnesota. I cannot wait until we play Oklahoma. And question for you guys, if the Spurs did wrap it up tomorrow, is the Western Conference Final schedule out yet? When would they play Oklahoma game 1 if they did wrap it up tomorrow? Thanks for taking my call, guys.
Yeah, you got it, Ray. Thank you. Appreciate the phone call. They haven't wrapped it up. And, Ray, I got news for you, buddy. Don't be watching the game tomorrow night because it's not going to be on. It's not until Friday. I'm just saving you a night off.
Friday at 8:30.
It's Friday night, 8:30 on Prime Video is where it is, or I guess just Prime. But it's Friday night, not tomorrow night. I wish it was tomorrow night in a lot of ways, but it's not.
And the schedule for the next series won't come out until either after Game 6, once this is done, because they need to know if there's a Game 7 or not to know when they can schedule that series to start.
Now, if there is a Game 7, it will be back here in San Antonio on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
We do know that. Hopefully, everybody's got Sunday off, and we don't have to worry about that. But I can't imagine that they would start the Western Conference Finals. I think they would give the Spurs at least a couple of days. So if they wrap it up on Friday, I can't imagine that thing starting before Monday.
I could see it starting Sunday.
Well, I could see it, but I don't. Well, it could, I guess. Who knows what the NBA is going to do? And a lot might depend on. So let's see. Detroit and Cleveland play tonight.
Yep.
Because they've got the Knicks waiting for them.
But they'll play Friday as well. They're the first.
Correct. So their Game 7 would be on Sunday as well. If it was anybody but the Spurs, that would be fantastic to have 2 Game 7s on Sunday. That would be outstanding. But I'm hoping the Spurs are
could have a Game 7 and then a Game 1 the following day.
Well, it could be. I
think that's what they're waiting for, to find out if there's a Game 7 to put it alone by itself on Sunday.
I think so, too.
And if there's no Game 7s, they start the next series, or at least one of the 2 series on Sunday.
Well, it will be interesting to see. And if that's the case, that's just the case. You got to wrap it up a little earlier if you want to get some rest. And maybe that benefits either Cleveland or Detroit and San Antonio as they head into the next round, because you just kind of keep going and you keep your rhythm. A lot more San Antonio Spurs talk again. 4:35 today. Coming up here in about 35 minutes or so, roughly. Antonio Daniels is going to join us. He was at the game last night sitting with 5-0, the big fella, David Robinson, and they were enjoying it. I want to get his thoughts on the Spurs team and what's taking place in this series and what his thoughts are on what might happen in the next series. We can look ahead with AD. That'll be fine. Plus, we've got a poll up on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. A lot of you have voted already. I appreciate that, but let's keep this thing going. Dylan Harper, great game last night. He's had a great series in this Timberwolves series. Does he remind you of Manu Ginobili? The only reason I say that, again, before anybody starts throwing stuff at the radio or the YouTube feed, he is not as good as Manu. Manu is one of a kind. Manu is just a fantastic player, Hall of Famer, all of that. Dylan Harper's got a long way to go to get there. What I'm talking about and why I bring this up, last night after the Dylan Harper dunk, Manu tweeted out how pretty that was or something to that effect. And the comments that followed were all about, well, it looks like you. It looks just like you. And then there's a tweet out there that's got Harper's dunk from last night and a dunk from Manu Ginobili, and they basically make the same moves. I mean, it was almost identical. That's why I'm asking the question. There's no right or wrong answer here. It's just whatever you think. I voted yes because in a way I think similar style, certainly similar athletic ability. But if you vote no, vote no. There's no right or wrong answer here. I just wanted to get your thoughts and figure out what you guys thought about that. So, a lot more Spurs basketball talk. And again, Antonio Daniels coming up at 4:35. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're riding with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
This Saturday afternoon, get out and watch the San Antonio Gunslingers as they take on the San Diego Strike Force. 4 o'clock kickoff inside Freeman Coliseum, and it is their Star Wars theme night. Early fans will get a free lightsaber. They want you to dress in costume because it is Star Wars vibes all day long Saturday as the San Antonio Gunslingers take on San Diego. And the Gunslingers are playing great football right now. They have won 3 in a row. Offensively, they are clicking, scoring over 30 points a game in all 3 straight wins. Defense is playing solid as well. So get out and support the San Antonio Gunslingers as they look for their 4th straight win this Saturday, 4 o'clock inside Freeman Coliseum. Get your tickets now, SanAntonioGunslingers.com. That's SanAntonioGunslingers.com.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
San Antonio's newest sports headquarters, Novo Brewery. Craft beers, full bar, hard kombucha on tap, a handcrafted food menu, and massive LED screens. Attached to North Star Mall with late hours. Visit NovoBrew.com. That's NOVOBrew.com.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. Money is on the line. Always say hello with Quo. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic, plus get a $300 instant gift. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Almost 90 years ago, Academy Sports and Outdoors was born right here in Texas. So we know a thing or two about a thing or two. Like beans don't belong in Chile. It's called a feeder road. And how far really means how long. We've been your neighbor for generations. That's why we're adding Texas-sized deals across the store, only in Texas. If you happen to find a better price at a competitor, we'll beat it by 5%. Academy. Fun can't lose.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And through Friday at Mattress Firm, you can get a Sealy mattress in any size for only $494.99. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs made a statement last night, knocking off the Minnesota Timberwolves. They took them behind the woodshed, let's face it, in Game 5. They have a 3-2 series lead. They look to close out the series Friday. Game 6 back in Minnesota. Tip-off set for 8:30. It will be on Amazon Prime. Do have basketball tonight. Cavs and Pistons tied at 2 games apiece. Series back in Detroit tonight for Game 5. Tip-off at 7. You can listen to it right here on 94.1.
Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It's a hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Happy hump day, everybody. Hope you're having a good one. Whatever you're doing, however you're doing it. Thanks for spending a little time with us here on the Blitz 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're trying to get me to hear something. I don't know what the hell I was listening to. Will you explain?
You know, so there were no old highlights?
Oh, that's gone. Good. Yes, I'm very happy about that because both of those were kind of old. Nice, dude. Very nice. Very good. Okay. All right. I'm happy about that. Yeah, the Cowboys thing and the Spurs thing, that was all done. We are celebrating today, that is for sure. Spurs victory in Game 5 last night inside the Frostbank Center, knocking off the Timberwolves. Now just one win away from the Western Conference Finals and a date with the OKC Thunder. Now, it was asked earlier about when the conference finals will begin. And we've got the answer to that. If the Spurs wrap it up on Friday, the series will begin on Monday in Oklahoma City, because obviously OKC has a home court advantage. If this goes to a Game 7, it will start on Wednesday, May the 20th. So there you go. Either Monday or Wednesday is when the Western Conference Finals will begin. So
now I need that Cavs series to go 7.
Sure.
So I have something to watch on Sunday.
I know. So you're predicting a wrap up on Friday night. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's over. Done. I kind of feel that way too. I just don't think Minnesota has unless something goofy happens again, because it's goofiness. Game 1 was goofiness. Spurs, I just think, were rusty, and they just weren't. I don't want to say they weren't ready to play, but they were rusty, and still damn near had a chance to win that game. And then obviously we all know what happened in Game 4 with Wemby being ejected. So a couple of goofy things happened. So as long as nothing goofy happens, then I think we're going to be okay. Lots to talk about, obviously, when it comes to the Spurs. Antonio Daniels, again, was going to join us at 4:35, coming up here in just a moment. But we are talking Spurs basketball, and I want to hear from you, whether that's on our YouTube page. Go to sasportstar.com. You can get there from there. You can get me on Twitter at Joe Reinagel 210, or you can do it the old-fashioned way, 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. Let's go to the phone lines. Nate is on line 1. Nate, welcome to the Blitz.
Thank you guys for having me. I love listening to y'all early morning, 2 p.m. Central. Always got it on the radio. But I just want to defend Wemby and our head coaching staff. I've been on Twitter a lot hearing about, what happened with Wemby in Game 4 with the elbow, and maybe it's not the Spurs way. And maybe, back in the day, that may have not been the Spurs way. But this new generation of Spurs that we have is just We kind of need that physicality, and that we're not going to keep putting up with what's going on with the Timberwolves. And they're a physical team. They're a great defensive team. They've shown it all series. But Wemby was there's a lot of calls that weren't being played towards Wemby's way, and it got to a point where he had to stand up for himself. And I don't condone those type of actions. And I feel like his ejection in Game 4 was enough, and nothing further than that. We got Draymond Green saying that on X, or back in the day called Twitter, that he was suspended for much less. But Wemby wasn't putting his whole size 13 in someone's chest while they were on the ground. So Wemby's understands his discipline that was handed to him, and Greg Popovich was there right when he landed, and then talked to him one-on-one in Greg Popovich's blue car that he had waiting for Wemby to come out that airplane. And I'm pretty sure Greg Popovich gave him what he needed, and he didn't want to speak on it. He kept it internally and kept it in-house, which is perfect. But I do want to give our head coach, Mitch Johnson, 100% praise on standing up for Wemby, because, if you look back at it, Wemby's scars, scratches, and jersey pulls from Anthony Edwards, and like he said, rage bait, the new term, the new generational term of trying to antagonize. And Wemby never complains to the ref. He never does anything to tell the ref, hey, well, look what they're doing. He gets right back up and runs down the court. And I was fortunate enough for my birthday. I went there with my little brother. We were right behind David Robinson, Antonio Danos, and Monte Ginobili, and the atmosphere was incredible. I had saw someone tweet, a reporter saying that this was the loudest pop when Wemby's name was announced on the starting five. And I'm telling you, right when I heard that pop, I knew the game was going to be in our hands. The atmosphere was great at the Frost Bank Center, and I'm looking forward to the Spurs finishing it off in Game 6. But to defend Wemby, I think, like you said,
Nate, breathe, buddy. I'm worried about you, man. You've been going here. You haven't taken a breath yet. It doesn't sound like. You okay?
No, I'm here parked. I just want to. I'm here parked.
I hear what you're saying, buddy. I hear what you're saying. You're taking up for Wemby, and I understand that. A lot of Spurs fans do appreciate the call, Nate. Thank you very much. Well done. Well done. Look, again, I'm okay with the physical play. I have no problem with physical play. The Spurs need to be more physical. I agree with that. I think they will learn from this, and they'll learn now how playoff basketball is different than the regular season. It is. It's more physical than the regular season. You've got teams then like Minnesota who that's how they play. And so I'm okay with the physical play. Wemby can be more physical. He can be more animated. He can do a lot of things. But I think, and this is just my opinion, that Pop told him you can't go that far. You can't do that and get yourself thrown out of a game because we need you in the lineup. We need you on the floor. And that would be my guess as to what Pop said. You got to keep your composure. You've got to look. They're gonna jaw at you. They're gonna grab you. They're gonna scratch you. They're gonna do all of the stuff. Play physical, but don't go too far. And I think to me, that's probably something like what Pop said. That's my guess anyway. I don't have any inside info on that or nothing, but that would be my guess is what Pop said. Look, you got to keep your cool. Don't let these guys get to you the way that they did in that game. That would be my guess. And if you noticed Wemby last night coming out of that game or in that game, he was very calm, very cool. Held his composure, and nothing bothered him. And there was a push by Naz Reid, who did get a technical foul. There was Ayo Dosunmu, who pushed him in the back and was jawing at him, and Wemby just smiled. And so I think, to me, that tells me a lot about what Pop may have said to Wemby. Just keep your composure. We need you. You can't get tossed out of the game. You just can't do it. And so that's as good a guess as I can guess at this point in time. Let's go back to the phone lines. Johnny is on line 3. Johnny, what do you think?
Well, the reason Wemby is being portrayed as a hero, probably by the news in some places, is because he was basically like the kid that gets bullied throughout high school and junior high and everything. And then finally he stands up to the bully and does something about it, and everybody just starts cheering because they've been wanting to see something like that happen.
You could be right. Appreciate the phone call, Johnny. You could be right. Look, it's basketball. It's playoff basketball. If the opposition thinks they can get in your head and make you do something stupid, they're going to do it. And that's what happened in Game 4. They got into Wemby's head. The calls weren't going his way, and he wasn't playing all that well either, if you'll recall. And I think all of that frustrated him. And he just lost his cool for a second, and it cost him a game and a half, or three-quarters of a game, whatever it was. It cost them the game, because I think if Wemby's in that game, they probably win it. They had a lead in the fourth quarter, they couldn't sustain, and a lot of when Wemby's not on the floor, all right, this team it evens the playing field in my mind. I mean, it just does. Wemby, to me, makes that big a difference. And that's no disrespect to Harper or Castle or Vassell or Keldon Johnson or anybody else. But when Wemby's not on the floor, Minnesota can do what they like to do, and that's drive to the rack and get easy buckets. When Wemby's on the floor, they cannot do that anymore. And so it's just it's exactly what – that's why he has to be on the floor, and he can't do something stupid like he did in Game 4. And I will say it was dumb. It was stupid. And you can celebrate the elbow all you want, and we can do it now because it didn't cost us a Game 5. But it was a stupid thing to do by Wemby.
Game 4.
And he would have and I'm happy that Pop was there and said, I'm going to spank your hiney, young man, if you do that again. And maybe that's what Pop said. I don't know. Let's go back to the phone line, 656-3776, 656-ESPN. John, talking about the Spurs, what do you got to say, my friend?
Yeah, I was hearing one of the national shows in between AJ and Rob and you and Jason's show, and this guy called in and he said, if we move on to Oklahoma City, Coach Johnson, if he rests Wemby, he should always have Castle and Harper on the floor, and vice versa. If he rests Castle, he needs to have Harper and Wemby on the floor. And if he rests any one of those that he rests, you got to have the other two on the floor. And I don't know. I want to see what you think about that. I guess he's talking about the matchups against Oklahoma City, and I think maybe because those guys are just such good scorers. I'll hang up and listen. Thanks, Joe.
I appreciate the phone call. That's where Mitch Johnson's got to figure that out. And I think that's probably not a bad idea to keep your best players on the floor or get your best players on the floor when Wemby's not on the floor. Look, Luke Cornett's been great this year. He really has, but he's not Wemby. And he can be scored on. As we've seen, Minnesota can get that done. Oklahoma City will be able to get that done. So you've got to have your best defenders out there when Wemby – and look, Wemby unfortunately can't play 48 minutes. He's got to take a break.
And we saw it at stretches last night when Minnesota did start to make a run there at the end of the second, beginning of the third, ended up tying up the game.
Yep.
The Spurs go ice cold at times.
They do.
Like, just ice cold.
They do.
And it feels like when they go ice cold, especially at the end of games, Dylan Harper's not involved. Even if he's on the floor, he's just not involved. And he has, I believe, if not one of the top 3 highest field goal percentages in the fourth quarter in the NBA postseason.
It is the highest.
And
yeah, we said that yesterday. It is the highest.
The fact that the offense needs to run through him when they go cold.
I'm not opposed to that, especially because you know what I love about Dylan Harper is he's not afraid. This guy is not afraid of anything. He's not afraid of the moment. He's not afraid of anything. And I tell you what, I'm becoming a huge fan of Dylan Harper, and I know a lot of Spurs fans are, and it's easy to do with the way he's playing in this playoff, but he's doing a great job. Let's get back to the phone lines before we have to take a break. We'll go to line 2. Gino, you want to talk about Keldon? What's going on?
Yeah, hey, Joe, great show. I think, to me, I've been saying this in my groups, that Keldon has not been Keldon, and we finally saw him do what he needed to do. And I think he was a good reason why we saw the win that we saw. I mean, we haven't seen him all series, and even in the previous series, he hasn't been the 6th man of the year that we were expecting to be. He finally showed up yesterday, and I think if he continues that, he's going to be the difference maker for us when we do have those cold stretches, as you guys are talking about. that we need somebody to have that scorer mentality when he's in there. He took it to the rack. He was strong. He was being big, and he wasn't just settling for a jump shot that has not been his game for the last few weeks. So, like to hear what you guys think.
All right, Gino, appreciate the phone call. Thank you. That opens up a phone line, 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Look, Keldon Johnson, I think I don't want to see Keldon take a bunch of jump shots. What he was doing last night is outstanding. He was aggressive, and he was getting to the rack, and he was being successful doing so. I would prefer him to be that aggressive Keldon Johnson in the playoffs, whether it's in Game 6 Friday night or against Oklahoma City in the Western Conference Finals. He's got to be aggressive, and I don't want to see him settle for a bunch of jump shots. I really don't. Now, he can hit them at times, but the way he played last night, with the emotion that he played with last night, with the aggression that he played with last night, yes, I want to see that Keldon Johnson for the remainder of the playoffs. Because that is the best Keldon Johnson, and that's who we need to see. So a lot of Spurs talk coming up again. Antonio Daniels is going to join us at 4:35. Tune in for that. Wake the kids, phone the neighbors. Let them know that AD is going to be on our airways coming up here at 4:35. We're talking Spurs basketball. We're celebrating Spurs win last night in Game 5, 1 win away. Think about that. 1 win away from the Western Conference Finals. That is a beautiful thing to be saying here on this hump day. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you need your logo on any kind of gear, you need any kind of promotional items, you need to go see Sam over at Sammy's Embroidery and Printing on San Pedro. If you need T-shirts screen printed, go see Sam. You need something with Wemby and not getting bullied anymore, you want to make your own T-shirt, Sam will get that done for you. That's what he does. You need your business logo, your group logo on a nice golf shirt, a fishing shirt, a dress shirt, go see Sam. He's got all the big name brands from Adidas, North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Port Authority, to name a few, Under Armour. He even now carries a full line of Tommy Bahama. If you need caps done, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom. And he's got all the popular cap brands like the Richardson 112 style trucker caps, Katie Caps, Nike Cap America, to name a few. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from, all kinds of industries. And if you do run a business, Sam does so much more than just uniforms. His new sign shop can do your signs, your banners, flags, card magnets, vehicle wraps, window decals, and so much more. Nobody has better prices, and Sam is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. Call 210-824-3900 or go into that massive showroom down on San Pedro. It's about a mile inside Loop 410 right there across from the McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
Hormones can affect everything. Bad skin, bad hair, low energy, poor sleep, brain fogginess, libido, and weight gain. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we take a functional approach to your hormone problems. Eating right and exercise will not be beneficial without optimal hormone function. This goes for men and women. We do state-of-the-art testing to get to the root of your hormone issues and help you get well and stay well. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. We can help. 210-468-1891.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season. I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text SPARK to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text SPARK to 215-215. That's SPARK to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like customer service associate at a dry cleaning shop.
Yeah, hi. I'm here to pick up my suit.
Ah, yes. Here you go.
There must be a mistake. This is too small.
It shrunk a whole lot. Look on the bright side. Now you have a suit you can give to a child.
This is your job for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses for a limited time. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here for Window Nation. You know, May's weather is pretty nice, but those hot summer days are going to be here soon. Don't wait until the heat hits to try to avoid high energy bills. Upgrade your home's windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale. Imagine replacing all your windows with new energy-efficient ones and getting half of them for free. Plus, you could even get them with no money down and no monthly payment or interest for 2 years. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com now to book a consultation.
Chris Canny here. PayPal is now the official peer-to-peer payment sponsor of the NFL, which means all the money moments that your fandom creates, whether splitting tailgate costs or chipping in on tickets and game day food between friends, are covered. Wherever the game is played or watched, PayPal moves with fans. You can send money through text, email, or directly to your friends with eligible accounts on Venmo. Just download the PayPal app and share all the moments that matter. Account with PayPal is required, not available in all regions where PayPal operates.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Coming up on the Morning Huddle, we got an off day for the Spurs, so let's spend it talking some football.
We get new schedule coming all the time, and the NBA Combine is happening. Is there somebody worthy of the Spurs? Lots to talk about. Oh, we'll get you ready for big games as well. Get here early. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports.
Celebrating a win on this Wednesday. Spurs take Game 5, lead the series 3-2 over the Minnesota Timberwolves. Game 6 Friday night. Yeah, we got to wait a couple of days. Friday night in Minnesota, 8:30 tip-off. It will be televised on Prime. We're going to talk some Spurs with Antonio Daniels coming up here in about 10 minutes or so. So we're going to make this a little short segment. I hope you guys don't mind. There's nothing I can do about it if you do. A couple of things. It's football related. The Detroit Lions, we already mentioned that the Cowboys are going to take on the Eagles on Thanksgiving Day. Well, before the Cowboys-Eagles play, the Detroit Lions are going to host the Chicago Bears. So they're making it division rivals on both. That was just released a few minutes ago. And so that's how that's going to go down. So a couple of division rival games on Thanksgiving Day. Of course, the Lions play every Thanksgiving, as do the Cowboys. So that's what's going to happen there. The Cowboys open up the season against the New York Football Giants. And the big concern or question mark, I guess I should say, is the health of wide receiver Malik Nabers for the Giants. It's being reported today that he underwent a second knee surgery to remove scar tissue. And it's basically a cleanup and to remove some of the stiffness. He remains on the same recovery timeline. They're trying to get him back for that opening game against the Cowboys. Whether that happens or not remains to be seen. But he did undergo another surgery. He's not the only guy to do that. There was somebody else that did that, and it really seemed to help them because that scar tissue can get in there and kind of cause some problems and obviously stiffness. And so Malik Nabers had to go in and do that. Now, I hate to see anybody hurt. I don't want anybody hurt, and you want teams at full strength. However, it would be a hell of a break for the Cowboys if Malik Nabers is not in the lineup. So we'll see what happens with Malik Nabers when that goes. Again, the schedule released 9 international games are going to take place this year, which is just amazing to me. And it's all over the globe. On the other side of the globe, in Australia to begin with, Mexico City, Argentina, or I should say Brazil, a couple of games in London, one in Spain, one in Germany. So the NFL going international to make a few more bucks, like they don't have enough, but they're going to keep doing that because it's successful. It really is successful. So it's interesting. The NFL is just king, and nobody else is even close, and that is just a fact. Want to mention this real quick before we go to a break. I am looking forward to the PGA Championship tomorrow, and I got a tweet here of Tommy Fleetwood, and they're all out there practicing putting. I sent it to you, Pledge, by the way. Tommy Fleetwood is just on the practice green and shows you how fast the greens are going to be out there. Fleetwood just taps this putt, and it rolls by the hole, I want to say 10, 15 feet. Those greens are going to be like putting on this table right here.
Did you see the one I sent yesterday?
Remind me.
Guy sitting there on the false front of 11. He's just at the top of the ridge, barely taps it. It rolls like 75 yards down the fairway.
That's incredible. But you know what? I'm okay with that. This is a major championship. The course should be hard. It really should be hard. These are the best players in the world. It should be hard. This starts tomorrow, by the way, the PGA Championship. I'm geeked up for it. I know Pledge is geeked up for it. Pulling for my guy Jordan Spieth because if he wins, it would be a career Grand Slam. He's not playing well enough to win. There's too many good players playing. He's going to take a miracle for that guy to win. I hope he does, but yeah, I'm not going to put any money on it. Let's put it that way. Let's take a break because I'm excited to have Antonio Daniels join us on the other side. He's going to join us. He was at the game last night, obviously former Spur, champion with the Spurs. He's got a ring, and I want to get his thoughts on this current Spurs team, what he thinks, and what the ceiling could be for this San Antonio Spurs team. We'll talk to Antonio Daniels when we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. A great place to go watch those games is at Novo Brewery. I've been talking about Novo Brewery. We've done a few shows out at Novo Brewery. A lot of you have come out there, and you understand what I'm talking about, the kind of place this is. It is a fantastic place to not only watch the game, but to have lunch, dinner, and to have drinks. They've got 60 craft beers in there that they brew themselves. I actually tried one the other day during not during our remote, but after our remote, and it was outstanding. I had never tried a Brazilian beer, but it was outstanding. They've also got domestic beer on tap. They've got all kinds of beer selection as well in bottles and cans. It is just a great place to go. The menu is fantastic. Everything from French fries, wings, empanadas, all the way up to fantastic ribeye steaks. My favorite is the picanha skewers. They are outstanding, melt in your mouth kind of stuff. It is unbelievable. World Cup is coming up. Novo Brewery is the place to be. That is your World Cup headquarters. So you want to take a bunch of friends out to watch some World Cup games. Think about Novo Brewery. It's attached to North Star Mall. All right, it's in North Star Mall, okay? It is. It's right there. So it is attached to it. You can get to it through the mall, or it's got its own entrance. If you come to the North Star Mall through the Rector Street entrance, you'll run right into it. It's right there. It's got its own door, got its own hours as well. They're not married to the mall in any way, shape, or form. Go check them out. Look, if you want to go and check them out before you go, it's easy to do. Go to novobrew.com. That's N-O-V-O brew.com.
I've taken up candle making.
Nigel, the whole office smells like wet dog and gym socks.
My nose is highly refined.
Folks, if your home smells a little off, it might be your AC. Portamoon's Breathe Easy package pulls and deep cleans your blower motor, blower wheel, and housing, cleans your coil in place, disinfects the inside of your AC cabinet, and installs a UV light to help zap bacteria and other nasties hiding in your unit. All for just $6.95.
Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 210-651-5899. License number TACLA 1410740EM16004.
Hello.
I didn't make it into medical school, Dad.
I
didn't have an A in all my subjects, so I can't get in.
What do you mean, all these years I supported you, all the money I poured into your education, you don't get all A's? What was your bad subject? Chemistry, physiology, what?
No, Dad, spelling.
Spelling?
Yeah.
What, was it some funny microorganisms you couldn't spell or what?
No, Kinetico.
Kinetico?
Yeah.
You mean the water conditioner that uses no electricity? Are you kidding? Everybody knows how to spell Kinetico.
Not me.
Everybody knows Kinetico is the water conditioning company that revolutionized the water industry.
Sorry, Dad.
Everybody knows that Kinetico is spelled Kinetico.
I thought the instructor said Connecticut.
Oh,
East Coast,
son,
little
you should have remembered kinetic as in kinetic energy with an O on the end. Kinetico. Kinetico. Spell it Kinetico.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Kinetico. SA.com.
Rich Eisen here. PayPal is now the official peer-to-peer payments sponsor of the NFL, which means all the money moments that fandom creates, whether splitting tailgate costs or chipping in on tickets and game day food between friends, are covered. Wherever the game is played or watched, PayPal moves with fans. You can send money through text, email, or directly to your friends with eligible accounts on Venmo. Just download the PayPal app and share all the moments that matter. Account with PayPal is required. Not available in all regions where PayPal operates.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio and have been practicing law here since 1994. And in the past 30-plus years, I've helped hundreds of San Antonians injured by negligent drivers. If you've been injured in a car or truck collision, call me, 210-900-0400. I did want to let you know of a very disturbing trend I've seen that you really need to be aware of. If an attorney or someone acting on that attorney's behalf calls you after a traffic collision, with very limited exceptions, that is called barratry or solicitation. It's a crime and is unethical under our state bar rules. Do not answer these phone calls. Do not hire an unethical attorney. Neither I nor anyone in my firm will ever call you after a traffic collision. If you need my help, and if you've been injured in a traffic collision, I think you do, you'll need to call me. My name is Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400, or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
San Antonio, the Gunslingers are back at Freeman Coliseum Saturday, May 16th at 4 p.m. for our Star Wars game against the San Diego Strike Force. Lightsabers, touchdowns, and indoor football action. Tickets on sale at sagunslingers.com. May the 16th be with you.
I need a little range, step to the range, come on, meet me at the range.
Introducing the new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club Sandwich. With that juicy Chick-fil-A chicken on a buttermilk ranch bun, jalapeno ranch sauce, and pickled jalapenos, it's a little ranch with a lot of kick. The new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club with original spicy or grilled filet. Available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
Let's be honest. Watching the Rangers is better when you got something on the line. On Rangers game days, call your shot with the morning huddles. Rangers double dinger payday. Play ball! Pick the Ranger you think will send one into the seats. He hits one, you're going to a Rangers game. He hits two. Now you've just been upgraded. Tickets and a hotel stay. That's what we call getting paid. Wake up with the Morning Huddle. Make your pick and win with the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers.
A celebration Wednesday here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We're celebrating a big win for the Spurs last night. Game 5 over the Minnesota Timberwolves. They take a 3-2 series lead and now head to Minnesota for Game 6 on Friday night, where they can wrap this thing up and get ready for the Western Conference Finals. We're about to talk with Antonio Daniels, and I can't wait to do that. It's been a while since we've talked to AD, and well, he's one of my favorite people in the whole world. I got to tell you that, because when I first started covering the Spurs way back in 1997, when AD was drafted, and then he won a championship with the Spurs in '99. We were always talking, having a lot of fun. In fact, let's go to the Buyers Barricades guest line right now. Antonio Daniels, NBA champion. AD, how in the world are you, man? It's been way too long.
Mr. Joe Rydnickel, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. It's always good to talk to you, my friend. That's for sure. Saw you on the TV last night sitting with the big fella, and they only supered him, AD. What happened with that, man?
Oh, I could care less. I could care less. I'm unlike Tim and Manu and Tony and David and Sean. Like I am not a Spurs legend. I'm simply a role player that played here that was blessed to be a part of a beautiful basketball community that I now call home and win an NBA championship. The whole whose name gets put at the bottom, I could care less about, man.
Well,
I could care less.
Dude, I tell you what, and we were talking about this earlier in the show, AD, the fact that all of you former players are out there in the stands watching this team, supporting this team, man. There's no other city like San Antonio, is there?
No. I mean, and for me, I'm the color analyst for the New Orleans Pelicans.
Yeah.
So I'm actually employed by another NBA organization, but this is home. This is home for me. This has been home for me since 1998, 1999 when I got traded here. My wife is from here. My kids are born here.
Yep.
And it's crazy. Joe, I'm not telling you something you don't know, but I haven't played here in San Antonio as far as being a Spur in 24 years. I got traded from San Antonio in 2002. And when I'm back here in San Antonio, the fact that the organization and the community still treat me like a Spur, I don't take that for granted. Every time I go to a game, they do put me on the Jumbotron with David or Tim or Bruce or whoever else is there, Manu, and still make me feel like a San Antonio Spur. Like R.C. Buford and everybody else that's a part of this Spurs organization, Tom James, like they're still amazing to me and my family. And I don't take that for granted one bit.
Well, you'll always be a San Antonio Spur. In fact, Antonio, on our YouTube page right now, there's several comments. AD is still a legend to us. Euro Spurs legend, you always will be, and you'll always be a San Antonio Spur. So, look, the fans appreciate you, man. They appreciate what you did for this franchise and just the kind of guy that you are and the fact that you make your home here in San Antonio. Look, Spurs fans love you, man, and they always will.
Yeah, I mean, being here in this community, this year coming up, we're putting on 25 years of camp. I've had my camp here in San Antonio for 25 years, Joe, and to think about, like, I was asked a lot about this today. Did you care about not having your name on the – like, no, I care about the impact that I can make in this community. That's what's important to me. The amount of young women and young men that I get an opportunity to speak life into, to speak encouragement into, to inspire as far as their dreams are concerned. The fact that I've been able to put on the camp here in this community for 25 years, like that's what's important to me. That's the recognition that's the legacy that I want to leave here in San Antonio.
Well,
when it's all said and done.
Well, I think you're there, my friend, and I know you're not going to quit because you're going to keep doing that for as long as you possibly can. I know you too well to know that you're going to quit at any time soon. So we appreciate that. We will talk about the camp before we let you go today. I want to talk about this version of the San Antonio Spurs, though, AD. The fact that obviously there's been a lot of twists and turns in this series with the Timberwolves, with the ejection in Game 4, with the Spurs losing Game 1. Just your overall thoughts on how this series has gone so far.
Well, almost how you expected it to go. Initially, I called Spurs in 5, but then when Anthony Edwards was going to play, I called Spurs in 6. I mean, the thing is, Minnesota's a really good team. We know this. They've been to the Western Conference Finals in back-to-back years. So it's not like you're talking about a team that's not battle-tested, that's not prepared. But Anthony Edwards not being at 100% is one thing. Dante DiVincenzo not being available is another thing. They really miss DiVincenzo right now. And look, the fact of the matter is they don't have a matchup for Wemby. They don't have a matchup for him. And I know that's easier said than done. And I will tell you, I am going to tell you the same thing that I've been saying on different platforms for years. This young man, Victor Wembanyama, when it's all said and done, if you could turn on your PS5, scroll over to settings, then scroll down to injuries and turn injuries off, he will be the best player to ever touch a basketball. He will be the most impactful player in the history of the NBA.
Well, I think you're right about that, and I think Spurs fans know that. We just got to get everybody else to realize it. We're visiting with Antonio Daniels here on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You know, AD, I've got to ask you this because there were a lot of the national media types, and we've been playing some of their comments today about Wemby not being suspended after the elbow in Game 4, and then I guess NBC last night, making a big deal of his return and all of that, and it really irritated a lot of the national media types. The first question I have for you: do you think he should have been suspended?
No, I don't think he should have been suspended. He was suspended for Game 4, basically. He was suspended for Game 4, and the thing that people have to understand when we're having this conversation. I tell you what bothers me about this conversation as a whole. People are comparing apples and oranges here. So when I put on my social media page, on my Twitter page, you know what? I think what the NBA did was 100% correct, right? And not suspending him. Then you get all these different comments of hate from Minnesota and so many different people. And no, what about Draymond Green? And you know what? When Ron Artest did it, he got suspended 7 games. So here's the thing. Number one, your reputation matters. Your reputation matters. First-time offenders in any aspect of most things aren't dealt with as harsher as repeat offenders. That's the brutal reality of it. So your reputation matters, one. Second, Joe, we have a completely different commissioner. David Stern and Adam Silver run the NBA in 2 completely different manners. So when you're trying to compare what Ron Artest did to James Harden, or what Draymond Green did to this dude, and comparing it to what Victor Wembanyama did one time, you're comparing apples and oranges.
Well, that's an interesting way to look at it, Antonio, and I never thought about it that way. But yeah, I mean, you're right. And I saw a different Victor last night, and you tell me if you saw the same thing. He seemed very calm, very cool, and nothing was going to bother him. And I've got to ask you this, and none of us are going to know for sure, but Greg Popovich met him at the airport and talked to him one-on-one. What do you think Pop said to him?
I have no idea. And I know a lot's being made of that. But here's the thing. When have you not seen, outside of that incident right there, when have you not seen Victor Wembanyama calm, composed, and measured?
Just that once for a split second.
So this is the thing. So people are starting to talk about Victor Wembanyama like he's some repeat offender. Like this is something that he's done all the time. Well, he better not do it again if he does it again. Well, this is his first time ever being involved in something like this. And here's the thing. I'm number one. I will say this first and foremost. You're glad Naz Reid wasn't injured. That's the big thing. You're glad Naz Reid wasn't injured. But also, people are complaining about how physical that Minnesota is being with Victor Wembanyama. And here's the thing, Joe. That's a rite of passage. Right? That's a rite of passage. Sure. Go back to all the greats, and they've had to go through the same thing. Think about, I can sit here right now and think about how physical they allowed us to be with Shaquille O'Neal. You remember Michael Jordan had the Jordan rules?
Oh, yeah.
Remember? So it's a rite of passage to greatness. So Victor Wembanyama is dealing with it in real time. He's dealing with it in real time. And did he lose his head? He sure did. Did he pay the consequences? He sure did. Because the San Antonio Spurs lost Game 4. What I saw yesterday was a young man that came out and said, I'm going to put that game behind me, but I tell you what, I am going to show everybody why I'm the best player in the world, and I'm going to give them something different to talk about as opposed to the elbow hurt on the world.
Well, and I think he did that last night, without a doubt, especially the way he came out in the first quarter, man. He just he was determined. He came out, and he does so many things, Antonio, and you know this better than anybody, that opens up the floor for guys like Dylan Harper and Steph Castle and Keldon Johnson, because you've got to concentrate on this guy so hard that everybody else can kind of run free. Do you see it that way?
Yeah, well, when you have a 7'5" guy that's rolling to the rim, you have to pay him so much attention that it frees lanes for guys to drive. This is what makes the San Antonio Spurs so difficult, right? It is you have so many different guys that can attack downhill. That's one thing. But when you have a 7'5" guy that can roll to the rim and all they have to do is throw it up, so he's a lob threat. He can pop to three, so now you have to respect his ability to step out and shoot the three, so now he's a three-point threat as well. It completely opens the floor for everybody else. But that's what stars do. Stars that carry gravity with them make the game stress-free for everybody else around them. Look at the amount of wide-open shots that you see guys like Champagnie and guys like Devin Fitzgerald, the driving lanes you see for De'Aaron Fox, the pull-up jump shots that you see for Keldon Johnson or Dylan Harper. Like, all of that comes from the gravity of Victor Wembanyama. The dude is something I've never seen before. I've never seen. Me and David were talking about this at the game last night. I've seen guys that are his size. You know, the Sean Bradleys and the Mark Eatons and the Zach Edey's and the Manute Bowles, but I've never seen a guy that size, that fluid, and that skilled. One of one in the history of the sport.
Well, I tell you what, Antonio, he can certainly he can do it all. It is amazing. They call him an alien, and I think that is an appropriate nickname. Antonio
Agreed.
Daniels, NBA champion, joining us here on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Okay, Antonio, the playoffs, and you know, I've been around enough, obviously never a player, but man, I've been covering this sport for 30 years, and the difference in playoff basketball versus regular season basketball to me is just it's completely different, is it not? Can you explain that to our audience?
I can't. And you're talking about two completely different games. You know, from game 1 to game 82, the game is played a certain way. And it's almost like when game 83 comes, which starts in the second week of April, the regular season rule book is thrown out the door. If you look at the scores from the regular season, teams is 140 to 145, 150 to 140. Now teams are struggling to get to 90 because what they allow now is more physicality. They allow more of the holding, the grabbing, the clutching, the impeding of progress. All these other things that they really, really harp on in the regular season, they allow to take place in the postseason. I tell you, I wish that the league was the way that it is in the playoffs year-round. I wish it was like this year-round. I'm not a fan of the free-flowing where the defense doesn't even have an opportunity to guard anybody. The offensive player has every possible advantage. I don't like it. I love the physicality, some of the grabbing and holding, because it makes guys take their game to a completely different level. Because now you're not being bailed out by the whistle. Just not, all the flopping and all that stuff is not being rewarded. I love that. I love the physicality of the postseason.
Well, I do too, and I don't think there's anything better than NBA playoff basketball. To me, it doesn't matter who's playing. Obviously, we watch the Spurs because that's who we root for, but like Detroit and Cleveland tonight, I can't wait for that game because it is playoff basketball, and it's just a different animal, and I love it. All right,
if you can find it.
Well, exactly.
If you can find the game, that's a different story.
Well, that's
a completely different story.
Well, Game 6, speaking of that, is on Prime on Friday night, 8:30 tip-off. And so we got to tell people that. And you know as well, a lot of people in San Antonio don't have Prime. So you got to find a place to watch it or find a friend's house that does. It makes it tough on people.
Yeah, I'll give you 76 million reasons why the NBA, billion reasons why the NBA doesn't care. Yeah, it does. Because I tell you the problem that I have with it. Outside of the fact that I can't tune into a game right now and hear Sean and Jacob calling the game. That bothers me.
Yeah.
That bothers me. That's one thing. But another thing is in an economy where people are trying to make ends meet as a whole, like people are trying to support their families. To tell them to watch an NBA game, you have to subscribe to Peacock, or you also have to subscribe to Prime. That feels so disingenuous to me. Like, what happened to the fan actually mattering? What happened to that? What happened to the fans that you want to continue to watch games at sports bars or whatever it may be? What happened to their voice actually mattering? Like to me, it drives me crazy because I know so many different people that are trying to make ends meet, and to ask them to have a subscription that's going to cost him $15 a month for Peacock, and a subscription that's going to cost him $12 to $15 a month for Amazon Prime to simply watch these games. I know my mom always told me not to say this, but I'm going to say it. It's simply not fair.
Yes. Yes, it is. Antonio Daniels, NBA champion, joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. And Antonio, I could talk to you for 2 hours, my friend, and I think we've probably done that a time or two. Tell me about your camp coming up. What's going on, and how do folks get some more information on it?
Well, this is year 25. This is year 25 for me and my coaching staff, and it is a basketball camp, but I like to call it a life camp because there's so many parallels between life and sports that we try and instill in these young men and women from day one. It is the last week of July 27th through the 30th at Cornerstone Christian School. You know, you can, boys and girls, ages 6 to ages 17, all ages welcome. Every kid gets a T-shirt. Every kid will get a lunch every day. We have an all-star game on the final days, and I've had different teammates come and play with me in the all-star game. Tim has played in a few all-star games. Malik has played in a few all-star games. Devin Brown had different guys that have come and played in the all-star games. The easiest way to apply to camp is to go to the DanielsFamilyFoundation.com. DanielsFamilyFoundation.com, and, sign your kid up. I tell parents all the time, you don't do this 25 years by accident. You do this 25 years because this is something that God has called me to do, and it is the best camp your child will attend. I promise you that.
And you are there every day.
Every day.
Every day. Yes.
All day, every day. Yep. I open camp with prayer. I close camp with prayer, and I'm there. I'm teaching. I'm instructing. My son is a part of camp. My son is now 7 years old.
Oh, my goodness.
So now he's been a part of camp for the past 3 years. So, yes, this is the highlight of my summer. I truly, truly enjoy doing this. It's something that me and my family have now put on for decades, and I just don't get tired of it.
AD, I can't believe your son's 7 years old.
Yeah. Son 7, daughter 15, daughter 20. That's going to be a senior at Baylor.
Oh,
you ain't got to tell me twice. Yeah.
It goes by fast, doesn't it, my friend?
Oh, boy, does it. Too fast.
It certainly
Too
does.
fast.
DanielsFamilyFoundation.com. That's where you get more information on the camp. I tell you what, I've seen Antonio in action at this camp, and if you've got a child that you want to send to camp, there is no better one than the Antonio Daniels camp. Got to ask you a question, though. Joel Myers, you still carrying that guy?
No, he's carrying me. He's carrying me. That's my guy, though. Yes, that's my guy. Me and Joe do a radio show a couple of times a week out of New Orleans. So, yeah, that's my guy, man. That is my guy.
He's one of the best. There's no doubt about it. And maybe the best voice in all of sports.
Yeah, him and Kevin Calabro.
There you go. There you go. Antonio, man, this has been a pleasure, my friend. I appreciate you taking the time to visit with us and all of our listeners here on the Blitz.
Oh, I appreciate you, brother, always. Anytime you need me, man.
Well, I tell you what, Antonio, it's always good to talk to you, my friend. Appreciate you very much. Antonio Daniels joining us here on the Blitz via the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online at buyersbarricades.com. And again, that is the DanielsFamilyFoundation.com if you want more information about his camp. And if you've got a kid that you want to send to camp this year, again, there is no better one than Antonio's camp. He is fantastic. Love that guy. Man, so many stories about Antonio plays, I'll tell you. I mean, he was one of the first guys really that when I started covering the Spurs and he was drafted and then traded obviously to the Spurs and we just kind of hit it off right away. And he would always take the time to talk to me, and I always appreciated him for that. He's just a good dude.
I mean, same. Like, I've got a ton of stories from when he worked here.
Yeah.
Just the time we got to spend together here at the radio station when he was doing the show middays. And, man, you talk about a great dude.
Oh, he's
like
the
just
best.
A great dude.
There's nobody better. I mean, he's one of the best. There is no doubt about it. And we're seeing all the comments on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page of just praising Antonio. Aaron says SA loves AD. 25 years of the camp is some big dog stuff. That's for sure. I miss Claymore. Claymore's yelling at me a minute ago and when I was talking about everybody thinks AD is a legend. Claymore, I'm going to go back and find it. Humble and classy dude, great guy. There you go. That's from Claymore. I would never ignore you, Claymore.
He also
there you go,
said,
my friend.
Make this guy the commissioner.
Yeah, there you go, right? Well, we try to tell you guys that playoff basketball is different. I know some of you come back and say, no, it's not. It is.
It's different.
And Antonio Daniels just told you that. It is completely different.
Aaron says AD for mayor.
Well, there you go. I wish we'd have thought about that about a year ago.
I wonder if he wants a deal.
I want a deal.
Yeah. He would be much better. I know you're joking, Claymore. Don't worry about it, buddy. We got a lot more. If you want to talk Spurs basketball, we're going to do that on the other side because we're celebrating a Spurs win. Looking forward to a Game 6 on Friday night. 656-3776, 656-ESPN. We'll hear from some of the participants in last night's game as we get ready for that closeout game in Game 6. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I want to tell you about Window Nation, and I love talking about these guys, and I've really become a believer in them because when they first came on board here at the radio station, they came out and they gave us a demonstration of just exactly how their windows work, and it's amazing because they put a window that's an older type of window, and they give you that demonstration about how much of your air conditioner is just going out into the wild, and making your air conditioner run harder, costing you more money. You change your windows, you get some quality windows from Window Nation. It's amazing how much money you are going to save. And right now, talking about saving money, they've got a great sale going on. Buy 4, get 4 free sale. That's what they've got going on. Imagine replacing all your windows and you get half of them for free. That is an incredible deal. Plus, you can even get them with no money down and no monthly payment or interest for 2 years. I don't know if you can beat a deal like that anywhere. Window Nation has that going on right now. And in fact, their windows are so good, they offer a lifetime warranty. Not 20 years, not 30 years, a lifetime warranty. All right, so something goes wrong 40 years after you put them in, guess what? Window Nation's going to take care of you. They will replace that window. That's what they do. They're also rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. You don't want to wait to put an end to your window problem. Save big right now with Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale. Look, this sale is a great sale. It's not going to last long. They can't afford to have it last too long. So here's what you need to do. Go to windownation.com. That's windownation.com. From there, you can book your consultation.
You're locked on the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. Money is on the line. Always say hello with Quo. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Almost 90 years ago, Academy Sports and Outdoors was born right here in Texas. So we know a thing or two about a thing or two. Like beans don't belong in Chile. It's called a feeder road. And how far really means how long. We've been your neighbor for generations. That's why we're adding Texas-sized deals across the store, only in Texas. If you happen to find a better price at a competitor, we'll beat it by 5%. Academy. Fun can't lose.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Dave Ramsey here. The only water softener I recommend is a quality water softener from Connecticut. It really is the last water softener you'll ever own.
ConnecticutSA.com.
And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Spurs are now just one win away from the Western Conference Finals, and they'll try to close out the Minnesota Timberwolves on Friday. Game 6 back in Minnesota. Tip-off set for 8:30 will be on Amazon Prime. Playoff basketball tonight. The Cavaliers and Pistons tied at 2 games apiece. That series back in Detroit for an important Game 5. Tip-off at 7. You can listen to it right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star at 6:30.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
On a hump day!
Hump day!
Hump day!
Hump day!
Happy hump day, everybody. Hope you're having a good one out there. Whatever you're doing, however you are doing it. I know if you get off work at 5 o'clock, well, you're really happy right now. Your hump day is just about over. You're about to slide into Thursday, and it's going to all be okay. Appreciate you spending a little time with us here on The Blitz. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix, he's off handling some family business. James Pledger is here, though, and we're going to get you through. And a lot of people have been asking James about the Western Conference Finals and when they begin. And we have done a little research, and if the Spurs wrap things up on Friday, they will start on Monday in Oklahoma City because the Thunder have home court advantage in this series. And all games, here's the good news, all games are going to be on NBC. Okay, so no more Prime or anything like that. All games in the Western Conference Finals are going to be on NBC. So that is good news as far as I'm concerned. Now the Spurs just have to go up to Minnesota on Friday and handle business. And look, the way they played last night, I think it's certainly a possibility. I do believe that Minnesota is going to be a tough out. They're going to come and play with everything they've got. And they're going to be a tough out. They don't want to lose in front of the home folks. I mean, you certainly don't want to get closed out of a series in front of the home folks. So they're going to play hard, and it could be one of those games that comes right down to the wire. Who knows what's going to happen, because what I love about the playoffs is every game is its own story. Every single one has its own story, and that's the beauty of the NBA playoffs. So we'll see what happens there. It was certainly a big night last night inside the Frost Bank Center, and the big story was Victor Wembanyama. He came back, a conquering hero, according to NBC, which has really pissed off a lot of the national media types. But we really don't care, because let them be pissed off. It doesn't make any difference whether they're mad or not. But they not mad at Wemby. I didn't take it that way. They're not mad at the Spurs. I think they were a little upset at NBC and the way that they handled that, because they really made a big deal, and it was kind of a dramatic thing about him coming back and being back and all of that kind of stuff. So, but again,
the hero return.
Yeah, and again, I don't really care what Dan Le Batard thinks or Nick Wright. It doesn't make any difference. Hey, we're in San Antonio, and we're kind of used to the national media bias. Let them do whatever it is that they need to do. The fact of the matter is, Wemby did come back. He started that game just phenomenal. 18 points. 18 points in the first quarter of that game. And Wemby talked about his hot start after the game.
I think it's super important for us, the way we start a game, because it sets the tone. Now the challenge is to do it for 48 minutes.
Well, that's the challenge. And look, Wemby didn't score a lot of points in the second half. I mean, he didn't. He had 18 points in that first quarter. He finishes the game with 27. So there you go. He didn't score a lot, but it's everything else that he does. The good news is Keldon Johnson came back, and he played his best game of this series, without a doubt, the best game of this series. And Mitch Johnson was asked about Keldon Johnson last night and how he performed.
As simple as it sounds, it just felt like he was being himself. He wasn't trying to do something or trying to be anything. He just played with energy. And as he's shown in his career, and most specifically this year, when he plays with that type of energy, the basketball finds him. He's in the middle of plays. He's in, gang rebound situations where there's multiple people, and he's a catalyst for that energy and that physicality and that dynamic of our team, and we need it.
Yeah, well, they do, and I got fired up. I can't remember what point in the game. I think it was in the third quarter. Could have been the fourth quarter. Keldon Johnson went in and he drove in, made a layup, and he comes out and he's just got the his mouth open, screaming, and the emotion was showing, and it's good to see that kind of emotion, that kind of passion for what you're doing, and Keldon Johnson certainly has that, and he showed it last night. It was good to see Keldon Johnson get his game going in this series, because it has not been a good series for Keldon, but last night was a great game for him, and the Spurs kind of fed off of his energy, I think, in the second half. Not only him, Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper was outstanding last night, and we do have a poll up on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, and I'll tell you why. I feel like I need to explain this. The question is, does Dylan Harper remind you of Manu Ginobili? Right now we got 169 votes. I'd really like to see that thing go up to 200. I'm just saying, wake the kids, phone the neighbors, whatever. 64% of you say yes. 36% of you say no. Now, let me explain why I say that. And I'm not in any way, shape, or form saying that Dylan Harper is as good as Manu Ginobili. Not yet, anyway. That's a possibility. He certainly seems to have the tools. But what I saw after his highlight reel dunk last night, Manu Ginobili tweeted about that and said that was a thing of beauty or something to that effect. He was just praising the dunk. And most of the comments after that were, well, it kind of looked like you, Manu. Kind of looked like you. And then I've seen today that they've got them not side by side, but one on top of the other. They've got Harper's dunk, and then they've got a dunk that Manu Ginobili does that looks, and they look very similar to the same moves. Running down the court looks similar. All of it looks similar. And so that particular play, at least, and there's others there that kind of remind you of the style of play of a Manu Ginobili. And look, if you're a Dylan Harper, I mean, I would like to emulate a guy like Manu Ginobili. If you're anybody, would you like to emulate a Manu Ginobili? I certainly would. I would love to be able to play similar to a Hall of Famer and a guy that just brought energy each and every night to the San Antonio Spurs team. So I don't think there's I don't think Dylan Harper would be offended by us saying that by any stretch of the imagination. I'm sure he's had some conversations with Manu, because Manu's he's at the practice facility all the time. A lot of the players are. Timmy's out there as well. Pop, we've seen him quite a bit during this playoff run. So I don't know. What do you think? There's really no right or wrong answer there. Go vote in our poll on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. You go to sasportstar.com. You can find it there if you would. But go vote. I just want to see what you guys think and if I'm being crazy here or not. But that's what kind of got me thinking that way. Spurs, I don't know about y'all, and I'm just going to say this. I think this Spurs basketball team, and I'm not going to sit here and say they're going to win a championship this year, although I think the way they're playing and certainly the way Wemby affects the game, that is a distinct possibility. You can't count them out. You certainly can't count them out, but there's a lot of road to cover before we even get there, and the best team in the league, at least record-wise, is waiting for the winner of this series. And the Spurs have to take care of Minnesota first before they can start thinking about the Oklahoma City Thunder. But this team, if they fall short this year, and I'm saying if, my goodness, the future is bright. With the young stars that they have, the future is so bright. And these stars are getting an education of a lifetime right now in the NBA playoffs. The way it's played, the way you handle yourself, what you have to do, how difficult it is in every game because teams play hard, they play more physical, and it's just, to me, they're getting an education of a lifetime. And it is so much fun to see. And again, win, lose, or draw this year, those championship banners will multiply inside the Frostbank Center before it's all said and done. And who knows, maybe another dynasty in the making here for the San Antonio Spurs and San Antonio Spurs fans. What did you guys – I'm going to ask this question because I love the fact that Southwest Military after wins is buzzing as it is. But the last couple of wins, there's been some altercations down there. I wish people wouldn't do that. For the most part, though, look, it's calm, it's cool, it's people celebrating, waving flags, having a good time. But you always get that one or two or three or however many it is, knuckleheads down there that are starting fights. I saw it after the win in Game 3. There seemed to be a fight taking place, and maybe that's the media doing that and looking for stuff like that and putting it on TV and on film. Well, it's not film anymore, but you know what I'm talking about. And shooting that stuff, and that's why we see it. Maybe it's just every now and then, and it's a minor thing. But God, I really love the way this city celebrates championships, celebrates wins. And I don't want to see anything get out of hand in any respect. I'm all for people going down on Southwest Military and celebrating a series win. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You go down there, party, wave your flag, hoop, holler, honk your horns, do whatever you want. But, man, just keep it cool. Keep it cool. Will you do that?
Be cool.
That's your the lecture today from your old Uncle Joe. All right? Whether you take it or not is up to you. I don't know. We'll see. A lot more Spurs talk. If you want to talk Spurs basketball, a lot of ways for you to do that. You can go to our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. You can comment there. Please like and subscribe when you get there. You can get me on Twitter at Joe Reinagle 210, or you can do it the old-fashioned way. You want to give a phone call and voice your opinion, you can do that. We welcome that, in fact. 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Got a buddy who thinks he knows baseball? Perfect. on Rangers game days. Prove it with the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. Pick the Ranger you think will launch it out of here. He hits one, you and a friend are headed to a Rangers game. He hits two. Now you've got tickets and hotel. Yeah, you're making a night of it, and your buddy's buying the first round. Wake up with the Morning Huddle. Call your shot and win the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers.
If you're having any issues at your house with your plumbing, your AC, you know there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899 is the phone number, 651-5899. They are experts at worst-case scenarios, emergency situations. They're great at that. They also can help prevent some of those emergencies with their great maintenance programs. And if things that you are trying to maybe not even sure is your AC unit, like if your house doesn't smell right, that could actually be your AC unit. Apparently, it's a problem with a lot of you, which is why at Quartermoon they created the Breathe Easy package, where they will help kick some of that funk out of your system. They'll give you a deep clean on your blower motor, blower wheel, and your AC housing. Clean the coil, disinfect the inside of your AC cabinet. Then they put in a UV light to zap bacteria and other stuff that could be in that unit. You're going to get cleaner air, a fresher home, and an AC system that smells like it should. So call them if your house is smelling a little bit off. Breathe Easy package. Ask for it when you call Quartermoon at 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Ownwell. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ownwell.com/terms. Individual results may vary.
Right now, I have 24 different units. I think that's 15 separate properties. I trust Ownwell with all my properties. I trust them to fight for me with the appraisal district as best they can. And they've done a very good job. Ownwell is making my life more efficient, making me a better landlord. Using Ownwell, I've saved on average about $10,000 a year. That's a lot of money.
Your property taxes aren't set in stone. They can be reduced. Ownwell combines savvy technology and deep local expertise to save real estate owners real money. Want to see how much Ownwell can save you on your property taxes? Just enter an address and see your tax savings estimate. See how much you can save with Ownwell right now. But hurry, deadlines to file end this week. Text SAVE to 64,000. Text SAVE to 64,000. That's SAVE to 64,000.
Healthy vision is about more than seeing clearly. It's about going beyond. From comprehensive eye care with the latest technology to advanced vision solutions that provide deep insights into your overall health. And with doctors who build lasting relationships founded on trust, ensuring that every detail is taken care of. I choose Vision Source to never miss out on life's precious moments. Vision Source, beyond your eyes.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
With the new My Lowe's Pro Rewards American Express card, earn 3 points per dollar spent on Lowe's qualifying purchases for the first 6 months after card account opening. Plus, save 5% every day on eligible purchases at Lowe's and earn points on eligible purchases everywhere else Amex is accepted. Card members get more at Lowe's. Subject to credit approval. 5% can't be combined with any other offer. Exclusions and restrictions apply. Points subject to loyalty terms at Lowe's.com/terms and credit reward terms at Synchrony.com/MLPRA-terms. Visit Lowe's.com/business credit.
You think a ticket for not wearing your seatbelt is the worst that could happen. A fine, an inconvenience, a little embarrassment. But then comes the crash. There are injuries, a hospital bed, the long road to recovery, the moments you'll miss. Suddenly, a ticket doesn't seem so bad. That ticket? That was nothing. Click it. Don't risk it. Paid for by NHTSA.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
This is AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6 for the perfect ride to work on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Well, we're getting you home tonight. If you're stuck in traffic, I'm sorry about that, but we don't mind traffic around here because they give you more time to listen to us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. Jason Minix handling some unexpected family business. He'll be back whenever that is taken care of. So in the meantime, you're stuck with me. You're stuck with James Pledger, and we're gonna take care of you as we get ready for Game 6, reflect on Game 5, and see what's going to happen. It's interesting that the Spurs. I'm not so much interested in what the Spurs are going to do differently, if anything, in Game 6, but I am interested in to see what Minnesota is going to do. And I say that because, look, Rudy Gobert, I don't think he could guard me right now. Obviously he could, but he's not guarding Wemby at all, and he's just not helping Minnesota at all. In fact, Reggie Miller was calling him out last night, if you recall on the broadcast, that he was hurting the Minnesota Timberwolves more than he was helping them. So I wonder if they make a move there. If they go to a smaller lineup, do you bring in Naz Reid and sit Gobert to start the game, or have a quick hook on Rudy Gobert in Game 6? But again, it's not just Rudy Gobert, and I'm going to pick on Rudy because I've never been a big fan of Rudy Gobert. But in this series, he's been horrible, and which is strange because in the series against the Denver Nuggets, he was pretty good. He did a pretty good job on the Joker. But again, Wemby is just a different animal and a little bit harder to deal with, I suppose. But Gobert, even when Wemby wasn't on the floor, he had a hard time catching passes. I mean, he just looked out of sorts last night for sure. Even worse than the other games. But it's not just Gobert. Julius Randle has got to play better if Minnesota has any chance at all. He has not had a good series against the Spurs. And so there are a lot of guys that have to step up and do a lot better. I just don't think Minnesota, with Wemby on the floor, can hang with them. When Wemby's off the floor, I think it levels the playing field quite a bit. But when Wemby's on the floor, it's just a mismatch. And Anthony Edwards said as much last night after the game.
I mean, tonight, some of the stuff that Wemby was doing, you don't really have too much of an answer for it. Just kind of hope he misses. But he came out high. He made a bunch of shots. I feel like we adjusted, fought back in the game. Tried to dig ourselves out of the hole, but I mean, eventually they created another league and running out in transition. We got to get back, get matched up. Just game plan mistakes that we keep making, and it's too late in the series to make these mistakes.
Well, interesting. And look, Spurs have done a great job on Anthony Edwards. They really have. And I say that even though he still puts up points and he's still their guy, but the double team has affected him a little bit. And it certainly did last night, I think, more so than any other time. But Anthony Edwards also came back and said, you know what? We're not worried.
Yeah. I don't see nobody in the locker room that's too worried. At the end of the day, man, it's another basketball game. So you come out, put your boots on, and get ready to go to war.
Well, I hope they wear boots. That'd be good. Slow them down a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see for Game 6, and again, I can't wait for it. Could very well be a closeout game for the San Antonio Spurs. Again, last segment we were talking a little bit about the Spurs' future and what it looks like, and to me, it is absolutely bright. Whether the Spurs go all the way and grab the trophy this year or not, this team is primed and ready to go for a long run. That is certainly the truth. I believe that, and with the people that they have drafted, the people that they have, just what they have, the youth of this team and the depth of this team, the future certainly looks bright, and that's why we're going back to the phone lines. 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. Let's go to Roger, who wants to talk about the Spurs next decade. Roger, welcome to the Blitz.
Hey, what's up, Joe? Just have a quick observation. So when the Spurs had their dynasty with Tim and Ginobili and Parker, and then when the Lakers had the Kobe and the Shaqsters, it just reminds me of this is what's going to happen when OKC and Spurs meet for the next 10 to 15 years. It's either going to be OKC winning the gold or the Spurs, back and forth. But I just think for the next 10 years, it's going to be Western Conference. Whoever wins it between the Western Conference is always going to win the NBA Finals. That's just my take. And I think they're going to be fighting this out for the next 10 to 15 years. OKC or the Spurs going to win it every time.
Roger, I appreciate the phone call, and it's hard to argue that. It certainly is. With the way that the Oklahoma City Thunder are constructed, they're going to be in the mix for many years to come. The Spurs are going to be in the mix the way they're constructed for many years to come, and I can see that happening. I can see a big rivalry, if it's not already. I can see a big rivalry developing between the Spurs and the Thunder. We just saw Pledge and I watching on TV there that he has in his glass box of fun. They're talking about the draft and who Oklahoma City may get. You know, they've got the 12th pick in the draft, and they just keep reloading. I mean, they really do. Sam Presti, who obviously is a San Antonio, he's got San Antonio roots for sure, started here in San Antonio. Somebody the other day, and I can't remember what show I was listening to, said that he may be the best general manager in the history of the NBA. I mean, that's high praise, and I'm not sure that I would go there. I'd have to do some research on this thing, but I mean, it's kind of hard to argue, is it not? I mean, what he's done with that Oklahoma City Thunder team, he's got them primed now, as you just heard Roger say, and I think everybody would agree that this team that Oklahoma City team is primed to be good for many years to come. Well, then you can come back here to Brian Wright and what he's done. And quite frankly, look, I mean, and I don't mean this in a bad way. The Spurs have been really lucky, and there's nothing wrong with that. Not a damn thing wrong with that. I mean, it goes all the way back to David Robinson, goes back to Tim Duncan, and now Wemby, and you could even say Dylan Harper, Steph Castle. I mean, this team has been lucky with just where they were in the draft. But you still have to make good picks. Just because you have a high draft pick doesn't mean that player is going to work out. And the Spurs, well, they've done really well. They've done really well. That's for sure.
And think about it. The Oklahoma City Thunder, they still have a lot of picks left. They've got the Clippers lottery pick from this year and the pick swap from the Paul George trade still with the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They land someone like Yaxel Lindenborg from Michigan as a big man to add to the group that they have.
I tell you, man, they're going to get somebody good. It's a really deep draft.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a really deep draft. So even at number 12, they're going to end up with a quality player. And so, and Atlanta, what the hell? You got to screw the Spurs like that. And go and make the playoffs. It's just not right.
I love everybody that thought they were going to tank this year. Really? You think they're just willing to give the Spurs the best possible pick they can get?
Yeah, sure. That's what they're supposed to do. Come on. Wow. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see, but I can see this rivalry, a good rivalry between OKC and San Antonio for a long, long time, and it's going to be fun to watch. I hope it really starts on Monday. I hope it starts on Monday. The rivalry begins, and I know the regular season is a regular season, but again, I think we've established with people that have actually played in the league that the playoffs are a much different animal than the regular season.
Not only are they different, just look at the way Oklahoma City's playing in the playoffs.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
right? No.
As good as you are and as well as you may match up against them, Oklahoma City has taken it to a different level since the playoffs began.
Sure. I think you could say the same about the Spurs, too.
At times.
The Spurs have had a rougher go of it, though, I think, competition-wise. I mean, look, OKC gets lucky with the Lakers.
Sure.
They really do. They got lucky with the Lakers. The two of their big guns were out to start, and one of them comes back, but he didn't play well. But to not have Luka there, that was certainly a big blow to the Lakers. And then who was their first-round matchup? It slips my mind.
The 8 seed?
Phoenix? Phoenix. Well, they rolled through them. Although they had some decent players. So, I don't know. It's a little tougher road for San Antonio. Minnesota's a tougher team than anybody, certainly.
Sure, they're tough, but at the same time, San Antonio had their struggles against Portland. I know they finished them in 5, but falling down 21 and 19, they've fallen asleep, it feels at times.
They have, especially in that Portland series.
Oklahoma City's felt locked in from the moment the tip started in the playoffs. True. And that's what I mean, is San Antonio has this tendency to relax because they are so damn good.
Yeah, and so damn deep. But just a piece of advice, and I know I'm getting ahead of it. So, I do feel like Uncle Joe today, giving lectures and advice and stuff.
Come on, Uncle Joe.
Just don't. When the Spurs face off against Oklahoma City, I don't want to hear anybody talk about what happened in the regular season. All right, just don't.
Oh, you're gonna.
Well, I'm sure I'm gonna, but it doesn't matter. It really does not matter because it's a whole new ball game. And so I don't want to hear about it. It's great. We'll put up a banner about you whacked Oklahoma City in the regular season. Whoop-de-frickin-do.
And I hear the Spurs talking about it, and it's whether I played it on extra innings last night. Devin Vassell, after game 2, he was like, we locked in. And we just got to stay locked in.
Sure.
This team has a problem staying locked in.
At times, you're right. They do. They certainly did. It seems like they've been a little more locked in this series than they were in Portland. But there have been some times. Last night in the third quarter is a perfect example.
Into the second, beginning of the third,
yeah.
They kind of let it slip away. They let it slip away at the end of game 1. There have been moments. I'm not saying that it's habitual, although it's trending that way. It feels like when they get too comfortable, it starts to lax a little, and that whole locked-in narrative seems to go away a little bit. And then the problem is, once it starts to slip away, I understand that they can put their foot on the gas and go again a lot of times, but sometimes it feels like this team can't buy a bucket, and it just kind of spreads through the team.
Well, and that's the problem. If you're not hitting shots, they were fortunate last night. Now, remember a sequence. It was, I don't know, I can't remember exactly when it was, but the Spurs came up empty, like 4 trips down. Yep. They missed shots. And they were fortunate because Minnesota did the same thing. And so they were fortunate that didn't happen. I can't remember exactly where that was in the game, but I do remember that sequence.
It was in the second quarter, I believe, when they started to kind of make their comeback a little bit.
Could have been, yeah.
And then the third quarter, it carried in to where it ended up tied.
So it was that the Spurs couldn't buy a bucket, but neither could Minnesota at that time. And I think Julius Randle was the one guy that was clanking everything off the rim and couldn't do anything. So, but it's hard to argue that because the Spurs do sometimes go cold, and when they go cold, it allows the other team to get back in the game. And that happened last night when Oklahoma City tied the game at 61. The difference is, though, the Spurs, they got locked back in, and then they just went out and spanked the Timberwolves a little hiney. So that's what happened. We can talk some more if you want to do that. Certainly. I love talking Spurs basketball. Appreciate you guys hanging with me and Pledge today with us doing the show solo without Minix. But you know what? We're going to do it again tomorrow, and we're going to have some fun. Spurs are going to shoot around tomorrow. They had today off, which was a good thing. They don't have to talk to the media. The only time they have to do that is during the NBA Finals. They have to make somebody available every day. But in the semifinals, you don't have to do that. They all had the day off. I'm quite certain they're going to shoot around tomorrow before they leave for Minnesota. So hopefully we'll be able to hear from some of those players. Shoot around, and the same with the Timberwolves as well.
I kind of want the Spurs. Like, we have to make somebody available. Okay, Kelly Olynyk today, Lindy Waters tomorrow.
I know it.
Well, you know what? Biombo.
I will say, just from my experience back in the day, the Spurs were pretty good about giving you a name, even on an off day. I didn't forget you have to travel when you're traveling in the NBA Finals, whatever hotel they were staying at. They would make like Manu and, I don't know, Malik Rose available in, maybe not Malik Rose, but you know what I'm talking about. You'd be a big star and a guy that wasn't such a big star. And so they'd make a couple of guys
big
available.
Big star and a role player.
You're right, in one of the conference rooms of the hotel. And so we'd go in there, but we were happy to have it, and we appreciated that. So it's fun, man. I remember the NBA Finals, traveling and covering the team, man. So much fun. So much fun. We'll wrap things up, talk a little more Spurs basketball when we continue here on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Let me tell you, though, about my Kinetico Quality Water Softener. I love bragging about this thing because, well, I should brag about it. It is an outstanding product. If you've been thinking about a water softener, maybe you're just not happy with the one that you have, give the fine folks at Kinetico a call, all right? 656-PURE, 656-7873. You will not regret doing that. And it is just head and shoulders better than anything else that I've ever had in any house that I've been in. It is spectacular, and you can see the difference. Not only out of the shower, dishes out of the dishwasher, clothes out of the washing machine, you see the difference. It is incredible. And you know, all along, you're protecting your pipes, you're protecting all those appliances that we're talking about. And maybe perhaps the cherry on top, which is just one of the best things to me, I love this thing, is their reverse osmosis drinking station. Well, when you buy a Kinetico, they're going to give you one of those for free. They'll install it right there at your kitchen sink, and they'll make it match up with everything else that you have there in your kitchen, so it won't look like it's out of place. It looks like it belongs with everything else. This is like having bottled water right there at your kitchen sink. It is a fantastic product. You don't have to lug that bottled water in from the grocery store. You don't have to deal with the plastic bottles all over the place. You don't have to do that. All you do is put a glass underneath that tap and turn it on, and you've got bottled water right there. It is a fantastic product. Plus, they're still doing the 0% interest for 12 months, so free money as well. It is a great deal. If you've been thinking about it, do it. Get on the phone right now and call 656-PURE, 656-7873, or you can get them online at KineticoSA.com. And you know the jingle, sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE, Kinetico.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Coming up on the Morning Huddle, we got an off day for the Spurs, so let's spend it talking some football.
We get new schedule coming all the time, and the NBA Combine is happening. Is there somebody worthy of the Spurs? Lots to talk about. Oh, we'll get you ready for big games as well. Get here early. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
An accident or injury can derail your life in an instant, leaving you struggling to pay for medical bills and daily expenses. At Thomas J. Henry, we believe every Texan deserves justice, no matter their financial situation. That's why we offer our no-win, no-fee promise. You don't pay us unless we win your case. We know how difficult recovering from an accident can be. Let us handle your case while you focus on getting better. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
The San Antonio Gunslingers are bringing the fight back to Freeman Coliseum for an out-of-this-world Star Wars game. Saturday, May 16th, 4 p.m., the Indoor Football League action explodes as your Gunslingers take on San Diego in a lightsaber-filled showdown. Expect high-flying touchdowns, bone-crushing hits, and epic Star Wars vibes all afternoon. First fans through the door get their very own lightsaber. Get your tickets now at sagunslingers.com or the Freeman Coliseum box office. Guns up, San Antonio.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. Money is on the line. Always say hello with Quo. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Harry Douglas here to tell you about Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy. It tastes just like the best birthday cake ever. Vanilla, buttery, frosting vibes. It's basically a party in a bottle. And here's the best part. All cake, no sugar. And you know I love my cake. So I get that big birthday energy without any sugar guilt. The bottle's small, easy to toss in my bag, and perfect when I need a quick, tasty caffeine boost to cakeify my day. The Funfetti flavor is back on 5hourenergy.com or Amazon. Crack open a Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy shot today.
Kohl's has styles that make summer feel easy, even when faced with hard decisions like lounging at the pool or on the patio, grilling up a hamburger or hot dog, rolling down the windows or turning up the AC. Yeah, summer is full of tough choices. With 15% off outfits your family will love, getting dressed isn't one of them. Shop effortless looks at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Select styles. Offer ends May 17th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
The Morning Huddle.
Almost everybody on their team has a Vich or something like that in their name. They've got 3 starters: Ivicic, Stojakovic, and Merkovic. So they've got 3 Viches starting for them.
Well, I think only Virginia has as many Viches as Illinois.
Well, Illinois has more Viches coming off the bench, too. They've got another Ivicic, and they've got a Petrovic that comes off the bench. They got so many Viches.
You got Viches, I got Viches.
And, man, these Viches be balling. These Viches be balling when they play guys who don't. If you ain't got the right Viches, you're not going
to win.
You know what Brad Underwood's going to say to you? Vich, please.
Grab some wood, Vich.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Oh, man, I know a lot of y'all aren't, but I am fired up for the start of tomorrow. I'm looking at videos of Bryson DeChambeau in shorts, of all things. What the hell's the matter with that guy?
You're allowed to wear shorts during a practice round.
Apparently, he's changed up his putting stroke because there was a flaw in that. But it is the PGA Championship tomorrow, I guess, apparently. I don't know. Well, he didn't make the cut at the Masters.
Well, he has that long putter, and he plants it against his arm.
Yeah.
And he stabs at the ball.
He's going to change it up and a better, because every video I've seen, the greens are going to be like putting on a piece of glass. It's incredible. And then during one of the breaks, Pledge was showing me the false front on one of the holes.
11.
where it just, if you don't hit it up there high enough, it's going to roll down about 50, 60, 70 yards down the fairway.
Or if you miss it long and they put it on top of that ridge.
So this golf course is in Philly, right? And so, but they've made it tough. They've made it really tough. So the PGA Championship underway tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to that. Again, I'm rooting for my guy Jordan Spieth. If he were to win by some miracle, because he's just not playing well enough, it would be a career Grand Slam. And I would love to see that happen.
I think a lot of people think the scores are going to be low.
Really?
Because the course plays short.
Well, but the greens make the difference.
Most of the par fours are under 450.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of them are going to be hitting driver wedges into a lot of these things. They'll be like me playing in a Muni.
Well, the problem with some of these guys' driver wedges is the spin. You have too much spin on some of these greens, and it's going to roll back down in the fairway. So it's going to be a lot of fun for golf geeks like Pledge and I. We're going to enjoy it. Did get another leak from the NFL on the schedule release. That's the other thing that's coming up tomorrow is the schedule release for the NFL. So you'll know every game that's coming up. But the Seahawks are going to open up the season at home with a Super Bowl rematch against the Patriots.
Ooh.
So there you go.
Monday night?
It doesn't.
Thursday night,
No, it's
Friday
not
night?
Monday night. It doesn't say on what day it is. I'm assuming it's on Sunday, but because we've got the Sunday night games, the Cowboys and the Giants, and the Monday night game I think is the Chiefs and the Broncos.
Well, we've got a Wednesday night game.
Well, that's the Australia game.
What about our Thursday night game?
Well, that's a
which
good
is
question. I'm
typically the
confused,
NFL
Pledge.
opener.
I'm confused, Pledge. I don't know. Well, see, I don't know.
I think
I have no idea.
I bet it's a Thursday game.
You know, when the schedule's released tomorrow, we'll know.
I bet.
Well, maybe. Well, yeah, it could be. I don't know. Anyway, Seattle's going to open up against the Patriots. So a little rematch of the Super Bowl, which wasn't much of a Super Bowl. The Patriots didn't show up. Seattle did. Seattle, a much better team, without a doubt. So we'll see what happens. But the entire schedule then will be released on tomorrow night. The Coyote is I'm looking at a tweet here, is going to he wants to look like Dylan Harper. Not Dylan Harper, Carter Bryant. Did you see Carter Bryant with the cornrows? I think is that what you still call those?
Yeah, they're called cornrows.
Okay, well the Coyote's getting that done.
Good for him.
I'm looking at a tweet from News 4, and so the Coyote's going to have cornrows. It looks good on him. I'm just saying.
I just want to know when he's going to get the Vassell and Castle.
Yeah, no kidding. Castle, that thing's tall.
Both of theirs are tall.
Both of them, but Castle, I think, takes it to another level. I'd have to look at them again side by side, but yeah, I mean, I don't blame him, though. It's a pretty good hairdo to play basketball in because it doesn't get in your face, and, there's not a problem there. So those guys, they wear it well. Carter Bryant's a guy that even with I know he's young, but, man, that dude looks like he's 10. Now, he doesn't play like he's 10. He plays damn good. Now, Pledge is showing me a picture of Vassell and Steph Castle. Are they the same height? It's the same hairdo, huh? All right. Okay. All right. I stand corrected. Well, both of those guys are good-looking dudes, and so they can pull that off. So it's good. Carter Bryant, though. Does he not look like he's 12? I mean, honestly, the guy plays great. He's a hell of a player, and he's another guy that, when we're talking about the Spurs' future, is going to be incredible.
He's a part of it.
He's a big part of it, and so he's only going to get better as we go on. So and I'll admit I was dead wrong about him. Wasn't thrilled when the Spurs drafted him.
I'll admit I was dead right about him.
Well, yeah, good for you. I can admit when I'm wrong. So it's good. But yeah, he does look young, but he plays defense, especially. Man, that kid can play defense. He's a pest, if you will.
Plays defense, and that 3-point shot's coming around. If he hones that in even more and becomes a problem from outside.
Bruce Bowen?
Very much.
Although much more athletic than Bruce.
Kawhi Leonard?
I
know it's a name we don't like around here, but
no,
the game translates.
I don't know who you speak about, dude. Stop it. There is and I'm just going through Twitter. There's a picture on here of Wemby with a can of Raid spraying Ant. The internet is undefeated, dude. It really is.
Did you see the Jackals signs the other night?
I did, with the elbow spinning.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was good. Those guys are clever, man. They really are, with the tooth thing, and then they had the the spray, and then the elbow, whatever you call that. But it was all
pinwheel.
Pinwheel. Yeah, that's good. Pinwheel. They're good, man. So, the Jackals. That's another thing. You wondered about how that was all going to play out, but it has turned out to be great. From what I understand from some people that were there, the arena was on fire last night.
It sounded loud.
It was on fire, and it was rocking and all of those things. So Spurs fans always show up, though. That's something I don't ever worry about.
Show up and show out.
They do. So good for them, and big part of.
Did you see on the Jumbotron last night as they were showing pictures in the crowd? Some people immediately started turning and throwing an elbow into the person next to them, and the other person was just sitting there rubbing their eyes like they're crying.
Jeez. No, I guess I missed that. Although the Coyote did a bit last night, going back to the lady with the crazy Hispanics. Did you see that? And he was typing it. He was texting it out and saying all crazy Spurs fans need to stand up and get loud, and so it was good. It's all those things in the playoffs that you can use and have some fun with, and so and the Spurs are doing that. That's for sure. Let's see here. I don't know. Tomorrow's going to be an interesting day because again, I fully expect.
When are you going to start watching?
Tomorrow?
Mm-hmm. Coverage starts at 6:30 on ESPN Plus.
Of what? Of the NFL schedule?
No, of the PGA Championship.
Oh,
NFL schedule's at night.
No.
We get to start our day with sports.
Dude, yeah, absolutely. I'll be watching it early. Although I don't know when, because that's a hell of a grouping. You got Rahm, McIlroy, and Spieth.
That's going to be
That's a
group.
hell of a group right
That's
there.
A
That's
feature
going to be
group.
a lot of fun, dude. On another note, have you seen the Sports Illustrated swimsuit cover?
I haven't
Hillary
seen the
Duff.
Duff's the cover? I knew she was in
I don't
it.
know if she's the cover or not. I haven't heard who the cover is, but how old is that woman?
Probably a little younger than me.
Dude, she looks great.
Oh, yeah. I'm very aware. I am fully fledged on Hillary Duff.
Yeah, she looks great. She really does. So props to her for taking good care of herself.
38.
30. Oh, see, I thought she'd be older than that. She looks great. She really does.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, props to her. She was never one of those that you thought,
she was Lizzie McGuire.
Well, right. But now
Yeah.
she's blossomed.
It's a
if
smoke
you will.
show.
She's blossomed. That is for sure. We got to get out of here, Pledge, because you got a show to do.
I do.
You
I
got a
think I'm
show.
just going to talk about Hillary Duff for 30 minutes.
Why not? I think that you probably
Sophie
get a hell of an
Cunningham's
audience.
in it, too.
Hell of an audience. Yeah, a little maybe a little Sydney Sweeney to go with it. Okay, I got to get out of here now for sure. Extra Innings with Pledge is coming up next year on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Be sure and wake up with the fellas in the morning. AJ and Rob will get you started at 6 o'clock on the Morning Huddle. I'll be back here with Pledge tomorrow at 2